All right.
I'm not balding. I just don't like not wearing a hat. It's just like a comfort thing. I just like having a hat on my head.
Yeah. You are a hat man, actually.
I've always been a hat guy, though. Even like as a teenager, I always loved hats.
I mean, elementary school, I liked wearing a hat. Like I just
there was always that like talk though, where everyone would be like, "Oh, if you wear a hat all the time, you're gonna go bald."
Yeah.
And now here I am, 35 years later. I'm like, is that why I'm losing?
It's the hat, not the steroids.
Not the
hat rubbing it.
Yeah,
the hat rubs the hair off.
Yeah,
I always used to wear a hat when I was younger because I was really into rap. Because I was into rap music so much, I used to have these big hats. Yeah. Like 50 Cent. I used to think I was 50 Cent.
Yeah,
you actually remind me a lot of 50 Cent now that I think about it.
50's actually coming to Toronto. He's coming to Toronto. He's coming to Toronto at the end of September.
Have you got tickets? Because I got tickets as well.
Where's he? Is he going to UK?
Yeah. He's come back to London because he actually put extra dates on the tour.
Is this his final tour?
Yeah,
it is. Yeah, so I think I'm gonna get tickets. I just looked the other day because 50 was like when I was like grade 8, grade 9. Like that was like
20 years ago, isn't it?
Dude,
literally 20 years ago.
Yeah, this guy is still selling out arenas with an album he did 20 years ago.
In the club, when In the Club came out,
dude,
with nothing bigger.
He's done over 1 million. Yeah, he's done over a million ticket sales for this tour.
Antoine has no idea what we're talking about right now.
No, I do.
Antoine, you must have liked 50 Cent, surely.
I was wondering, so how do you call him back in the UK? You call it a quarter of a pound? What is he? Or it's 50 cents still?
He doesn't go by cent.
Yeah.
50 pence here, 50 pence. It rhymes. But yeah, no, I got tickets for that. I bought tickets for that for one of my best mates from when I was a kid. Like, I don't see my mate that much now, but it's like an anniversary friendship gift.
Nice, man. That'd be fun.
Yeah. So,
well, James, I miss you, dude. I haven't seen you in a long time.
You too, bro. I know. We've only had little, quick, brief interactions, obviously, on the socials. But
yeah, I think the last time we really chatted was like Olympia, and I think we were inebriated.
Yeah. So this is nice. This is good.
Yeah.
That's why when you guys said come on, I was like, let's get on and have a chat.
Oh, that's good, man. I appreciate it. How are your nipples?
Oh, mate, honestly, great. I'm so kind of happy with how everything went. It's
good,
been
man.
It's probably been about 7 weeks now, and I was able to train pretty much everything. Like you kind of, I think a few people said actually, about 2.5 weeks after the surgery, I was able to do everything but chest.
Dude, really? I don't know if I was just a baby when I got mine done. Like I didn't get mine cut though. They went in and lipoed it. Dude, I couldn't train for like 2 months. I was like, I couldn't even lift my arms. I was like, I don't know if I was in my head.
It's scary.
Oh, I was like, I was nervous to even lift my arms. I mean, they did a great job and it looks amazing, but like my recovery was, when I see guys like you back in the gym, or even De La Rosa was back in the gym within 2-3 weeks.
Yeah.
Like, wow.
D, when I first had it done and I was like in my house and I had to reach for like a plate, I was like, oh, no, don't do it. Like, because I was panicking as well. Because you got this like tightness under your pec.
Yeah.
Which you think if you reach, it's going to tear.
Well, you know what my problem was? Because I didn't put my body through the ranges as it was healing, the scar tissue, it was like 6 weeks, 8 weeks later, I had scar tissue. I had to like fucking break it up. Yeah. It was like, even now, when I pull up in a front little bicep, I can see the one side still like pulling the tissue.
You know,
I do. Go ahead. Yeah, I do still have some. I do still have some, but I'm the same. During this process, you just kind of have to.
It's important to put it through the movements, and don't be too afraid to do that.
Yeah, I thought the liposuction was like a less invasive surgery compared to actually going.
It's supposed to be. It is. Yeah, you know what? I think he was pretty good. The doctor that did it, and I've sent him a lot of people afterwards. He did a great job, but for some reason with me, I don't know if I was one of the first bodybuilders he did. He fucking took a lot of my muscle with him.
No shit.
My lower pecs. Yeah. I think he cleaned it up too much, and he ended up pulling all my lower pec. So I had to like rebuild my lower pecs, the muscle, the tissue.
Wow,
it was crazy.
Yeah.
I was like,
that's crazy.
Chest, and then it was like from the nipple down. It was like I had no muscle.
You don't see that now. Like I've seen you with the shirt off posing. Like you don't at all see that now.
Yeah. I was pretty devastated though. Antoine had a really, really good experience. Antoine has some pretty good recommendations because when he got his done, he went no medication. He didn't go out. He stayed. He watched the whole show. He actually stayed.
Because back in the day, I paid like I was younger, right? So I didn't have that much money, and it was like, okay, it's $3,000 or $3,500 if you want to be under. So you save $500 if you don't go under. I'm like, I won't go under. And I think because I was like used to like partying and taking substances back then, whatever they gave me, it was like didn't really work.
Didn't do shit.
And so I was laying like this, and I had like a drape like that, And I would see everything, and I would grip the table like this, right? And
all he saw was blood and just shit going everywhere.
They shot me with these
The
needles.
massacre.
And I would feel everything, and then I would see like the blood, like just on the blanket, just flipping like that. And I'm still feeling. I was grabbing the table. They said, "Don't move." I'm like, I'm feeling it. So they showed me more local anesthetic and stuff. And you know what the worst part was? It wasn't the cutting. It's when they laser, they cauterized the. No, it's like it was a machine that was like cauterizing or laser is burning up the nerves. Dude, I was being torched with open wounds.
The only bit I found a little bit uncomfortable, Antoine, was when they put the saline solution, like they pump your chest up. So they go in with these rods and then they fill your chest up with the solution.
Hold on, James.
You
were awake?
I was awake. Yeah, I was awake.
Yeah, I see. He made a fucking YouTube video about it. Go to his channel.
YouTube with me, man. Dude, yeah, I was awake. And they fill it up. Honestly, boys, they fill it up, and you look like you've just developed the world's best chest. Like it was probably about 3 inches of fluid in it, and it's pushing down on your rib cage so hard that even though you're under like a local anesthetic, the way it's pushing on your ribs, you feel like you're being like someone's breaking your rib cage.
Yeah,
I don't feel that.
It's a weird feeling, but it's one that I was quite happy to experience just for the the shits and giggles.
So why did you were you like, yeah, I want to stay awake for this one?
No, I think it's just because the one where I went, that's how they do it. I think they just do it.
Socialized medicine, man.
Yeah, it was cool. I got in the fucking room and they've got the radio banging out tunes, and I mean like a disco. It was quality. They were all young surgeons. They're all in like their mid-20s, early 30s, latest, and they're all just having a vibe. And you're in there and you're just like, this is all right, man. I don't even mind this. It didn't feel clinical or like it wasn't like a boring environment. It was quite enjoyable, I have to say. Yeah. They let my pal come in and film the whole thing. It was pretty chilled.
Is Justin still there for you guys? Justin, you pieced out on my screen.
Or is it really? No,
Dora, at the end, everything will be fine. Just ignore it.
Okay.
Can you guys not see me though?
I can see you.
Yeah, it's fine, Justin. Yeah.
Okay, hey, I'm gonna send you this this YouTube video because you can like pull it up on the screen and actually watch what he's talking about. I watched that video. That was crazy.
Got me on your phone here so
I can... it's funny how many people though, since the surgery reached out to me and they're like, "We'll give you a referral code."
Really?
So, yes, I got a little referral code. So anyone that does want it done, just hit me up.
No, that's huge. It's crazy in the industry now because even my brother, when he got his hair transplant over in Turkey at oh my gosh, I forget what's it called, Hair Now or whatever. He was like the first guy sort of like go there, and then afterwards, just from like word of mouth, he sent so many people, like, you know what I mean, to that spot that where now if you want something done, they pretty much just comp them because it's like
that's awesome.
You know, so many.
It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool.
I'm lucky. I've never had any symptoms of gyno. Nothing. Never ever. Not a puffy nipple. No nipple sensitivity. Nothing.
Did you have it as a teenager?
Some people like that.
Did you have it as a teenager though, Justin? So when I was a teenager, I had when going through puberty. Like I don't know if you guys had that, but it was like your nipples were swollen. If you touched them, it was like, oh shit. I think people that had that growing up, you know what I mean, through puberty, I think are more likely to develop it. When
mine on set after I finished last year's Olympia, and I tried to do the new school approach of not using AIs and just using a shitload of Masteron.
Yeah,
and obviously. I don't know whether it's just because the Masteron's not as good at of controlling E2. It clearly wasn't for me, and then I ended up just gyno flaring up. By then it was too late, so I was like, "Fuck it, let's just get it cut out," because then I don't have to worry anymore.
I never noticed it on you, to be honest. I have to look.
It came so fast, honestly. Literally within 2 months, it went from not noticing it to literally.
That's crazy.
And the only thing I did differently was I wasn't running a small amount of AIs.
Yeah, look at you there, just completely awake and
just chilling, bro.
That's what I had too. I had that too,
dude. That's no. I passed the fuck out. I no,
dude.
It's when they pump.
I won't even be able to watch this. I can't even watch that.
You can't.
It's insane.
That's so wild.
That's the cauterizing. That's the bit you didn't like, innit, Antoine?
Oh, dude, I felt everything.
Oh God,
you didn't feel
burn me.
Nah.
Yeah, I felt the tugging, but no, it wasn't.
No, I didn't really feel anything. Everything. It was like It was like
Yeah, I think that's your history of partying made you develop some sort of resistance
God,
to
it was
these.
terrible.
Maybe they've come a long way though in like 10 years. That was like 10 years
Yeah.
ago.
I mean, fuck, they should. I mean, they jammed you up with like local anesthetics,
Yeah, look
right?
at my tits. Look at my tits. How full of water they are.
I know.
That's
That's a
fucking
nice
crazy,
rack.
boss.
Look like
Very
fucking
nice,
arms.
nice set of boobs.
They gone blue. They were so full, but yeah.
Whoa.
Oh my god, this
What have you
size?
been up
What the
to?
fuck is that, man? Oh my
Wow.
gosh.
Well, I'm changing the subject for my tits now.
So
Man, what have you boys been up to?
Are they liposuctioning right there? Is that what they're doing?
Yeah, they do a bit of lipo because if they don't do some contouring, you'll get like a divot where your nipple is.
Yeah, I seen you took your shirt off the other day on your story or something, or maybe it's a YouTube video, but it looks like it all healed really well.
Yeah, it did, man. It did. It's
With a glove.
like, I'm not being funny. Like you can see it now.
All right, exit off this and let's see those nipples.
Look, it's just
Whoa,
there.
I want to see this.
Let's see.
Is that your blood? Is that your bitch shit in there?
Yeah, that's the blood.
We want to see James's nipples. Go to
Oh,
James.
right now?
Live, James.
Get me on the big screen.
I want
Let's see
to
those
see.
nips.
One sec. I want to see. Can we see your? Because they showed it to me. What they were.
Yeah,
doing.
they'll show you. They'll show you. Yeah, they're on the table in a minute. Keep going. They're on the table.
I wonder if you're all healed up. If we should do a nipple contest. See who's got the nicest nipples.
Bro,
They go, look.
Whoa.
They go,
Oh
look.
my god. Oh my god.
Damn. Look like clamshells, homie.
They do, bro. It's like a couple of fried eggs.
That's
Yeah.
insane.
Honestly, a couple of fried eggs.
Wow.
But yeah, it's look. Can't see nothing.
Oh, that's great.
You're healing up.
Nice nipples.
Wow.
Those are killer. That's crazy. That's what, 4 weeks?
Probably about 6 or 7 now.
6. Damn. Time flies.
Yeah.
All my hair on my chest where I got mine done, I literally I had no hair for like 6 months. All the hair.
I didn't grow back around it. Mine, I didn't have that issue at all. I've
It
got
did
loads of hair,
eventually,
man.
but
Too much.
I
all
find that
died.
like when I've had like something traumatic happen, like when I lost my fingers or when I broke my leg, I get like triple the hair. My right arm when I lost.
Oh,
these fingers,
really?
Fucking
way
Wolverine
hairier.
over here, eh? Just
What's
I
up?
Wolverine.
wonder what that was.
You're
Yeah,
fucking
I mean,
Wolverine.
I'm not a very hairy guy, but my arm was super hairy for like 2 years after I lost my fingers. And then
It's
when
obviously sending. Yeah, it's obviously sending some sort of
yeah.
response.
And then like my left leg, when I broke my leg, like my left calf was just like fucking hairy as shit. My other one had like nothing on it.
jacked in hair.
It kind of begs the question, like you want to say, like, why can't you give me something useful from this?
Yeah, hair.
Like, so you're gonna grow me back the hair? Can't you grow me back the bone? Like,
Yeah.
the bit that
Well,
matters.
one thing I've
Do you know
always asked myself is why do steroids make you grow heavy hair everywhere, but where you want it?
I know.
Yeah, it's
so
kind
fucked
of
up.
fucked up. I've got like these nice patches of hair right here on my traps that I really like now. And
Gets itchy as well, man. It's it's horrible.
James,
you feel very clammy.
you are a hairy son of a bitch.
I am, and this is not even me at full like bore.
Oh,
This
I
is
know.
after having I've shaved my shoulders and shit the other day just because I was wearing a sleeveless. So
I noticed yours gets long. Mine's
Does,
like
man.
mine's like Velcro. Like mine's like super thick. Like for example, if I like get a new towel and I have a shower and I
yeah,
shave,
Anton's got it
the
too.
next day
yeah, Antoine's is pretty thick
it
as
just
well.
pulls
Look.
apart the towel. The towel is getting ripped apart because it's like
Yeah.
Velcro.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
aggressive.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't really.
I'm
have
hair. I'm like I'm like aside from right here around my eyes, my whole body. Like I have to carve out the neckline here. Like our necklines come down. Like I have to make that. It would just all be hair.
Yeah,
around
you've got
my
that
neck.
complexion. You've got the hairy complexion, haven't you?
like an Armenian man.
It's just
Yeah, Doran has hair from his Achilles heel all the way
Yeah,
to the
all the
top
way.
of his head, nonstop.
yeah. I got
Uniform.
Yeah, know what the fucked up thing is? People are always like, people are like, you'll trim your legs or something, or like, I don't know, just shave your upper body.
Yeah.
If I just trim my calves, it literally looks like I got fucking shorts on because I'm so hairy. My legs, I have to do the whole body. I can't just like do an upper body. Like then I'm
It's
literally
too
like,
obvious.
I got pants on of hair.
But people don't know
and
that,
like even
but-
my arms. You clean up your arms. I got
You get this clean. You got this line of it looks like a vest
I
on
got a
like
hair
this.
tank top.
You got to take
Yeah,
time.
yeah.
Yeah.
Doran, I don't think people know. Everybody knows that you're actually half Portuguese.
Yeah, half Portuguese.
Portuguese.
That's where it comes from.
Very, very hairy.
Yeah.
That's where it comes from. This explains a lot. Yeah, man. But then you also tan easier than most of us.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Pros and cons, pros and
That's
cons.
one of the. Yeah, exactly. There's the pros and cons. Which if you tan well, normally you have quite good skin. So that's a good thing.
Yeah, that's true. If you can get out there and get some sun and get that skin nice and full of vitamin D.
That's lobster when I go in the
So
sun.
James,
Lobster.
Milos,
Milos, yeah, man.
Yeah,
Reaching out to
man.
Milos.
Congratulations. I'm excited for you. I think that's a good move.
Thank you, man.
I seen a clip from the podcast that you did, and it was kind of inspiring, man. It's really cool what you had to say about the reasons why you chose Milos. And
appreciate you, Jay. I know you're someone that has you give people the time to understand them, and you give people benefit of the, like a lot of people, like you say your reasons for things, and there's just a lot of people that don't give you their attention or time to try to relate to your decisions. Yeah. You get attacked by a lot of people when you make decisions, don't you? So it's nice when I've got genuine people like yourself who I know that can take a moment and think, you know what, that makes sense. I understand that.
Yeah, I know not a lot of people are able to put themselves in other people's shoes, but I listened to what you had to say. And I mean, honestly, James, you're a friend of mine, but I always value what you have to say and your perspective. And I know that you are a very genuine man, and I know you love bodybuilding. So I'm excited.
I do. I love bodybuilding when I'm when it's the bodybuilding that I'm. It's weird because bodybuilding goes beyond what I know it as now, and as what we all know it as. So it's you have a choice and you have an option to try and put yourself. I don't know. It's like you have to find the part that you love and hang around in that part.
Of course,
because if you take it as it is genuinely, there is a lot of it that I don't like the taste of.
Yeah. But there's like 10 different styles of bodybuilding, right? It's like you got your guys that love like biomechanics, and when they're prepping or nutrition, they like all the little details and making things a little more scientific. Where you have other people that are like bare bones, like basics, meat and potatoes.
And I'm all for whatever one you want, and I'm happier when as long as you're loyal to yourself and you pay attention to the bit that you love, then we can all coexist,
Yeah, I agree.
100%.
So it's like when I was training today, and I was doing some training, and when I'm training, I'm thinking about like Branch Warren when I'm training. That's how I think. But should everyone think that? No, certainly not. Like if you want to,
that's what you like.
Yeah, if you're a bit more specific, like like Joe Bennett or someone, fucking please do it because it's great. It works because I've seen results. Ultimately, you're going to get results out of what you can adhere to. Let's be real.
There's a lot of ways to place tension on a muscle and cause
absolutely
adaptation. But I mean, you say that about Branch, but you don't really train like Branch though. I mean, maybe in some respects, I think maybe there's a grit to your training style and how you train, but
intensity, but your form is very, very, always very bang on.
Yeah, I think Branch is it certainly has a lot of body English.
This is so absurd, man. I mean, honestly, this is one of the most impressive things.
These were when I was, I you know what? It's like any exercise, isn't it? If you do an exercise often, you fucking progress it, man. Yeah, that's just all that was. I was squatting. That's 7 plates, right? Yeah, and I was squatting that. I was going in the gym, and there was not a day where I fancied squatting even 6 plates. But I said to myself, "You can." Like I didn't fancy it, but I was like, "Jay, but you can do it." So do it. And
so do you see how much tension is through your fucking back when you're squatting this?
Well, this is why I think of the back. Let me say something about back squat. Back squat for me was always like how Jordan describes a barbell row.
Yeah.
For me, it's a back developing movement as well as a leg one.
Yeah. Do you know how much your erectors are working right there to keep you
like
your
body crazy? And the reason I know that because if you take a few weeks off of doing a barbell row or a squat and try and do it, watch what happens. You'll fold.
You'll
sure.
Fold. Yeah, you fold
because you don't have that. You don't have that power. So. Yeah, because I always notice that, like when I get ready for a show and you start to strip back the fat, then there's muscles there that stay apparent throughout the prep if you keep that exercise in for sure.
It's funny you say that because like about maybe 6 weeks ago, Antoine, remember I told you I squatted? I squatted for like 2 weeks for the first time in like years, and nothing crazy heavy because I have a herniated disc, and I just wanted to put my body through the range of motion. And the next day, both workouts, my erectors were like jacked, like they were like could tell how much they were working.
So I'll say I typically just don't really back squat because I find it's not a great movement for me to train my legs. I tend to hinge at the hips and load my glutes more and load my low back. So I usually opt for like a hack squat or like a Smith machine squat or pendulum. But I will say throughout the week I make sure I get my erector work. I do bent rows every week. I pull off the floor every week. I make sure, but I see the value in that.
I can definitely vouch for what you just said there because my quads, when they do look their best, is normally through a phase where I'm spending more time prioritizing, let's say, a hack squat.
Yeah, honestly,
like, for the look.
I kind of feel like squatting for like if you want overall leg development. I feel like people it's more like based on the individual. So if you have like a very short femur, I feel like they get a ton of stimulus. Like if you look at Ben Pakulski when he squats, he's just getting so much out of like, and the movement's like shorter, but it's full range, crazy depth because the femur's so short. You know, so I think it all depends on the person, right? Too.
I think
how much reflection they're getting.
Yep, limb length is everything. I kind of have longer femurs to where like I can't really get that. It ends up pushing my hips back, and I don't get the knee flexion. At the bottom of the squat, you'll see me having a vertical shin, but I'm loaded over. I'm loaded over, loading my low back.
Yeah. There's another exercise that I think is really good just for posterior development in general is like a Hatfield squat.
Yeah,
because you will get if you're not doing it like a heel elevation, you're going to get a little bit of forward lean, but don't be put off by the forward lean if you are wishing to develop your back.
Yeah, I think that's
be
also
put off by the forward lean if you're trying to develop your legs.
Hatfield squat.
So
I forgot about that.
It's a safety bar, basically, like a safety bar.
Okay.
Like
we have
because you're gonna find you tend to lean a little bit of that.
I thought Hatfield was when you're actually holding and bracing against like the rack.
It might be what Ant Bales and that do. I think that might be the only difference is that you hold rather than. But I just use because it's an SSB bar, so I don't know. I just call it the fucking.
I like it. I love an SSB bar.
Yeah,
it's
a great bar.
It is crazy though, like the different squat movements, how it totally changes.
They change everything.
Then you go to a front squat, and like your core is working like crazy. You're getting a ton of knee flexion. It's just like it just feels so much different just with those little manipulations.
I will say a front squat is something I can remain completely upright.
It fucks me front squat. No, it's such a hard movement. I rate anybody who's good at front squatting.
I'm better at front squats than I am back.
It's a challenge just to keep it in fucking place for me. But
if
I do think it's a great exercise.
Yeah, if you're putting on 4 plates with the poundage you're doing, you're not doing front squats.
Honestly, D, I think even if I put on a fucking plate, I'll find it uncomfortable.
Oh, really?
Do you just do the arm cross like this?
Yeah, typically. Yeah.
You know what I do? I just fucking hold my arms out straight like this. I literally hold them out.
Like a zombie.
Like a zombie.
Yeah.
Like the thriller.
Well, it seems like you could probably like adjust a little bit if need be when your arms are out like that.
Yeah.
Oh, guys, have you tried the squat on the Smith with the straps like Hunter and Brett did that?
Yeah.
Well, listen. Let me say so. I fucking did that before then, boys.
Yeah, you did. You did.
I remember.
OG strap holder.
Where is
then
that?
Then I went and got the attachments because I was like, "Fuck doing this anymore."
No. Hey, stay here, Antoine. Go down. He's one of him squatting with an attachment on this.
We've got there's Rebel Strength. You can get them made. I'm sure you guys could just make them and sell them your fucking self. But you can get them
right there.
Yeah.
See, that's awesome.
Oh,
they are game changers. They help.
Because I love a Smith squat, but I'll be honest, I always hurt my shoulders trying to fucking squat.
So these are from a company here called Rebel Strength, but you can get them from Elite. I think you can get Elite FTS do a top squat bar because Michaela uses it.
Oh yeah.
So that'll do the same.
What is up with gyms that put their Smith machine in backwards like that? That drives me bananas.
I asked John. That's John. John that owns MuscleX. John, what are you fucking playing at?
John, you son of a bitch.
Flip it around.
Yeah, because even today. Yeah, dude. Even today, he has the same Cybex one downstairs, but the Mark II, and I used it, and I was facing out.
Yeah.
So these are what they're like. But you could just listen, bro. Just copy these fuckers because they didn't give me a shout out. Copy these fuckers.
Wow.
Yeah. Make exactly the same ones and sell them yourself.
Oh, it's simple, easy.
There you go. Done deal.
Be ready. Be ready in 2 weeks.
Shout out. What about James?
Don't worry about him, bro. Don't give him too much attention. That's why when people have commented below my videos about asking about him, I haven't replied because I gave up replying because once or twice I did, and I never got like a cheers.
You think you think it's something that is worth producing? Like I let people use them?
I think perhaps but I think you could do something better than that. I think you can make them more user friendly than that.
I think the fella from like Jim Pin who does all that stuff, I think that'd be good for his market because I think he's already there.
He might even already have one in concept.
I wouldn't doubt it.
Yeah. But Brett would like these because Brett likes doing that version of squat. So
I do it with the straps, and I kind of use the straps to rack and unrack.
Yeah. The straps are good as long as you've got a good set, like a thick set like these.
Yeah,
I feel like they would spin. I don't know. I don't want to feel fucking stable enough.
Well, this is the thing, Dorian. I was like, you know what? I don't want any risk factor.
No, I want to be so confident with that weight on my back.
Not when you've got 6-7 plates on, man.
Yeah.
I guess Chris is holding it back.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, that does help because,
Yeah.
Brett's
it went forward. You see that? It went forward on this one.
Yeah. It will. It's like...
Yeah. And do you know how much energy he's expending pulling those forward?
Oh,
Yes.
sure.
Yeah,
Like, if he had those other attachments on, all his force could just go upwards.
Well, and then you want to
He'd
keep your
probably get
chest high. You want to
yeah,
keep your chest high, and you're pulling down.
yeah,
It's like
yeah. He'd probably feel way better with the attachments, and probably even
Yeah.
actually eke out a few more reps.
yeah,
Should we
Yeah,
get it, Dorn?
probably.
Should we get him?
yeah. We should maybe grab some and see if it's something that we
Worth
can.
doing, boys.
You know,
Should
Yeah.
we do it from Rebel Strength or Elite FTS?
I would hit up
think-
Elite. I would,
yeah. Check out
because
the
they do a version that's like one piece that you kind of hook.
Elite?
Yeah, Michaela uses the one that I think looks better, but it wasn't available here in the UK because I would have gone there first if I'm honest.
Yeah, I think you can go to Michaela's and see her. She uses the Elite FTS, yeah?
Yeah, she does,
Michaela
and
is
she's got a really good
Michaela
squats.
Acock. Just type in AYC and it'll pop up.
Her squats are something to marvel at as well.
Dude, Michaela Acock, her training
Top.
in general. I think
That's
like
that's the girl you showed me, right, Justin?
yeah,
She trains so
Yeah,
well.
yeah,
she
trains so
does.
well.
She trains so fucking perfectly.
So if you look at her on the Smith, you'll see there's probably older. She hasn't Smithed for a while, but her older Smith videos.
What?
Oh mate, so she trains like a
freaky.
savage. Look, she doesn't fuck
But
around.
just like the way she
Just
trains is so impressive.
execution is just bang on.
To the fucking 9, yeah.
her intensity, she's just like she
Try
don't
to
fucking.
find the Smith squat.
Yeah, it's when she was doing Smith. She was doing
Yeah.
it very regular, but obviously maybe just had a cycle of her movement.
I think she
so it's
usually like you'll find it like in the middle of one of her training videos. She does
It
like
could
that.
be, yeah. It could
So,
potentially be, yeah.
It might be going down a little rabbit hole here.
Yeah.
So
But
are
she
you?
does-
Is Milos
Is
having
that it?
any?
That's
Yes.
it there. That's it there.
There you go.
Found it.
Perfect.
There you go. So that looks
those-
even more stable.
Those have a bit of an arch to them. Yeah, they look like they come down then back up. Is that what I'm seeing?
Yeah.
Yeah,
It looks
yeah.
like it.
That's cool.
So yeah.
What's going on with you, James, right now? You guys are you starting an off season phase with Milos? Or are you still waiting for your chest to
started
heal
up.
up?
No,
Like,
just
what's
started
the-
off season. He's
Yeah.
given me a plan for like a 6-week push up.
Yeah.
So we're like 2 weeks in, but I was running a really shit lab for 2 weeks. No joke, not my normal lab.
Ugh.
I had some spare
It
bits
seems
left
like
over.
that's happening. It seems like that's happening a lot.
Yeah,
with
it
guys.
makes me laugh because I remember what you said actually, Jay. I saw your video and
Yeah.
very similar thing. I went from doing like literally PCT during my recovery of my chest to
Yeah.
3 shots of testosterone a week and 3 shots of Deca and 3 shots of fucking Masteron.
Yeah.
You'd expect to fucking feel something, wouldn't you?
Fucking A. Yeah.
And I fucking felt nothing, and my body weight weren't moving. I'm
So
like
listen,
3 days.
For-
I'm like 3 days back into my normal gear, and I'm pushing up nearly 10 pounds.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
should
there you
notice
go.
like some good volumization
Yeah,
just
yeah,
off the
yeah.
bat, right?
So
Yeah,
for me,
absolutely.
I ended up going to Canada,
Yeah.
and I was there for a week. By the end of that week, I ended up like
You're
clearing
like,
the previous. I was like, oh shit.
Yeah,
And
It,
yeah.
then-
made,
yeah, then
it made you realize like, oh
Yeah.
shit, your stuff's off. It's
Yeah,
like,
then I
Yeah.
reintroduced stuff when I got home, and it was like because really what I was holding a bunch of water on it. I don't really know what it was. I was just holding
so weird.
fluids. And I know-
My biggest issue with gear is like I think a lot of it still is testosterone, but it's when you're trying to get these like you're trying to have your Masterons, you're trying to have your Equipoise,
Primo or like
yeah, all of that
not
shit. And then
that.
if you're just dosing up on testosterone, it's not going to do what you're trying to do.
No.
Yeah,
Um,
So you end up running fucking 2 grams of test.
2 grams of test and nothing else.
And then
So-
then you're not controlling it because you're not
No,
accounting
exactly.
for that with
Exactly.
antiestrogens. Nightmare.
So so I'm a few days back in, and I already feel like better.
Good.
So yeah,
That's awesome.
That's awesome, man. So you guys,
And then-
you're obviously looking at something next year. You're taking this whole
I'm
year.
looking for the Arnold Classic.
Beautiful. I think you and Antoine both are.
Nice, Antoine too.
Yeah, man. I really want to do that.
That's
show,
that's
right?
cool because you guys the last time you guys both competed was the Olympics.
Yeah, we were like literally. Yeah, we were literally together in our call out.
Yeah,
For
got
real,
those
I've-
photos of you
Yeah, I've
guys.
seen it many times.
Those are good photos.
One of my highlights for the Olympia was actually just be on
That little
stage
reel
with
where we
you,
run
right?
off.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it was funny. That little clip of us running off like a couple of kids. Just
That's so
even
cool,
I think
man.
even,
I
I think
was-
even the Olympia or someone shared that. Someone
Yeah,
Flex
I know.
was.
Do the meme.
Yeah,
I was front row in the crowd and I was taking pictures of you guys.
yeah, it was funny,
Yeah.
man.
It was
And I
cool.
think I know we can both be better. That's the good thing because I've seen us. I think I've seen us both even better. So I'm looking forward to what we can do with a bit of time and just a bit of refreshing and
Man,
Yeah,
I would
um,
if I wasn't going to be dieting for like 44 weeks, I probably would want to do it.
yeah,
But-
it's one of them shows you just feel like you need to do in your
Yeah,
career.
I
man.
absolutely need to do it, but I'm going to aim for something at the end of the next year.
Yeah.
one
But
of
you know what?
the-
You're so early in. You're so early in your thing. Like again, I've been competing now pro 2018 onwards, and it's taken me nearly 5 years to decide to do an Arnold, because it's one of them shows, isn't it? Like, you want to go there confidently, and I'm not saying you're not, because you probably are confident. You've won your fucking pro debut, so it's a totally different story for you. It took me a while to get to that point where I was winning shows, so it's like I had to go at a tempo that suited that.
Here,
If I was
Antoine,
you, then
look at that picture that Dorian has.
If I was you, I'd definitely be
that was you guys.
Yeah. I mean,
James is pointing.
I'm like, look at this guy.
Yeah, it was cool.
Yeah, fuck, awesome. You look really good there, Antoine.
Crazy. Yeah. I'm just relaxing. Look at my stomach. I'm like,
you were heavy. You were heavy at that Olympia, right, Antoine?
That was that. Well, both Olympias I did, Dorian, I was always like around 270.
Fuller. Yeah.
That's big. Yeah. What were you on stage, James?
We're about the same weight. We're about the same, because we're about the same height as well. So we come in roughly. We're in the 270s for sure.
Big fuckers.
I qualified at the Tsunami at like 273, and then the Arnold UK I was like 275, maybe a few pounds heavy because it's slightly sooner.
Are you under 6 foot, James? Are you like 5'11"?
5'11",
yeah.
Yeah. Because we were discussing height yesterday. We were discussing height because we were talking about on another podcast. We were talking about Regan and his height and whatnot, and how saying he's one of the tall guys. And I'm like, he's not that tall. And Samson and Ben thought he was like 6'1". I'm like, no, he's 5'11". Trust me,
5'11".
He's 5'11". Yeah, and he is. Yeah. He replied to a text. He's 5'11". So
yeah, it's weird.
It's funny.
I think Samson says he's 5'11", and
he is.
But fuck, I swear the guy's 6'3".
Do you know what it is though? It's you could be 5'11" and a bit, and that little bit fucking adds up. Yeah, it's like really weird. Like, yeah. So we were discussing Regan, and obviously the show coming up in the Flex Pro. You've also got Nathan, Regan, and Blessing. That's probably the three main candidates.
Just posted our Cameron Cheek, I think, just posted a picture of Blessing.
Cameron's doing a good job with him, man. Cameron's doing a really good job with him. You're a fool to count out someone who won the New York and the Indie Pro looking as good as he did, in my opinion. You can't, I know we don't get it right every time, and when we get it wrong, yes, people. But I can't count this guy out.
No, I think really what he did is he played too much into his character, and I think everyone didn't take him seriously just because of his persona.
Yeah, for sure.
That was his identity. That was his identity at that time, right?
Yeah. And listen, he was not on at Chicago, obviously, and it wasn't his best showing. But I was there pumping up with the guy. That guy is fucking.
He's got some muscle.
He is fucking humongous.
Yeah. He's one of the widest, clavicular in this industry. Like, he's one of the guys with the widest clavicles, like standardly. And that's dangerous all the time. Like, if you can come in good shape with those clavicles,
and he's a taller guy, so he just takes
taller guy. He's crazy.
Fucking
11 minutes ago. Latest update. 11 minutes ago.
He looks great, man. I'm super excited because I think he needs this redemption.
Do you three have a predicted placing at this show? What do you think? Like, I know you're tight with people, but
we were talking about this. It's so tough because, like, Regan, for example, like, obviously I coached Regan before. I know what he's capable of. And he's the type of guy, man, like, if he actually, like, puts in the work and, like, he comes in, which he's looking insane, like, I think Regan's the type of guy that could go to the Olympia and place inside the top 8 this year if he actually, like, just fucking nails it, because his structure is that good, and he has those wow body parts. Like, the back is so developed, the hamstrings, the glutes, the adductors, like, he has so much going for him. It's just coming in that density and, on point. Yeah. And if he does nail that, he could be I think he could be the biggest surprise of the year. But that's, like, obviously pending on, and obviously he's working with Milos. They seem to be doing a great job. Like, look at this. This is insane. This back development.
Like, he's very Lunsford-esque, isn't he?
Yes, he's almost like a bigger, taller version of Derek Lunsford.
They almost have like the same exact thing going on, where maybe his quads aren't as developed and maybe his arms aren't as good, but his back is so freaky and his shape.
Yeah. So they are actually really similar, because even their chest's similar as that structure.
Yeah.
Even the skin quality.
I think Regan too is just figuring out his body with certain things like legs. And I was talking to him, because if you look at Regan do all of his squats over the years, he had 0 knee flexion. Where now he's aware of that with Milos, and I see them like. I think he's honing in on the training and going to be able to bring up a lot of those body parts. Even his arms are bigger this year. He's done a great job in the off season. He looks very exciting. Very exciting.
He looks nuts there. That's his best side chest I've ever seen ever.
Yeah.
Now it's like
so wide.
The legs look crazy. The glute ham tie-in.
And
You
now,
want to talk
I'm
about a guy
interested.
that's wide. His
Yeah, he's very wide.
clavicles are
Very
like
wide.
insane.
Now it's like, this is what I'm saying. Now the card that's hard to read is Nathan because he's been absent for a little bit.
Yeah, well,
Yeah,
the thing
and
I think I noticed. Yeah, go ahead, Justin.
well, I
And
just
then
was
Nathan.
speaking basic, just off of consistency and track record. You got to look at Nathan as the front runner to win the show, in my opinion.
That's how I feel. That's what I said to the boys.
But
I said you can't. Like Nathan's done so much, you can't not put him there.
yeah, for sure.
It's funny, yeah, because that's
You know,
what I
but-
said too in the group
But
the
if
other
you
day. I was
look
like,
at the physiques in play, like I think that Regan absolutely has all the tools. He's got the bells and whistles, the flow, the size, the shape. He could definitely, if he came in 100% bang on, he could win, no question.
I said, well, I think Nathan has to do. Nathan has to bring like a level of granite
Yep.
that is like uncomparable for him to like, which I know he can because he has that kind of skin texture. But it's whether that's why I said for him, because you're not going to beat Regan on, like you just said there, like clavicle width and structure and bellies.
Yeah.
But the only way to
It's
beat
like-
someone like Regan is like a
yeah.
density.
Well,
Nathan
you know what else?
has that though. Yeah, it's like when you look
He
at his
does.
last training clips there, he's dense.
He's dense.
fucking
You know, per
fucking
pound,
dense.
every square inch of that muscle is
every square
yeah.
inch.
Listen,
yeah,
that's
it's like
a
hard,
decade
dense
of
muscle. You know,
a decade of
Dude,
benching
when
500
you
fucking
see
pounds.
Nathan backstage, if you're next to Nathan, and you watch him pump up his chest, for example. There's very few bodybuilders that have that level of density.
and he's
Like,
still got that.
he-
still round, very round.
Yeah.
Still right.
Round
So-
with a good amount of like height to his physique as well. Like his lat spread looks crazy because obviously he's got that taper.
Yeah,
And look at his arms after those bicep tears. They
it's
still look great.
crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's done good.
One thing
interesting.
I mentioned this on the last podcast too. I think that Nathan enters that stage. He gets on stage to fucking win, and you can see
fights.
it in his face.
He fights.
You
He
can see
don't-
it in how he
yeah.
poses. He's like,
Yeah.
and
He
like
demands
there's a psychological aspect to this fucking game, and you have to believe you're going to win. And I think that he probably believes more than anybody that he's going to go win the show.
Yeah, he
If
goes out
anyone,
there and like embodies it. It's almost like as soon as he walks out, he's almost like putting
I'm
that
the fucking
aura
man.
out there. Like I'm the man. I showed up. I'm winning.
if
Yep.
you get on stage with Nathan, even if you're superior at the get go, but if your mental capacity is falters after a round, he will fucking take you out.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
100%.
if you get one round opposing with him and you start to not feel too good in yourself because he's got this assurance in himself, he will eat you alive, and then you'll fade because he'll just fucking get in your head because he's a battler, mate. He done it with Juan Morel back in like New York. Like he was just like, I'm not losing this fight, and he fucking
he's a
fought
fighter.
like, and that's years ago. Like
His
he's a
track
good
record
mate.
is so good. Like you'd be a fool. It's
How
like
many-
I said
how many
the other
pro
day,
wins
we
at
were
this
talking
point?
about it.
Nine. This is his 10th
Yeah,
attempt.
you'd
Yeah.
have to be a fool to like not to count him out because his track record is so good, but it's so hard because like you got Regan, him, but like Nathan
And then and then we got Blessed in here, who again, like says, won the New York, won the fucking Indy, got a structure that's kind of like a mixture of the two.
Yeah.
You know?
That's the machine Ronnie was using.
Yeah,
it's
the mixture of the two.
remake. This is Max Pump. This is from China. He
I
remade
looked
it
at
for
that site.
Vader. Yeah, he made.
Is
he
it,
remade
is,
it
is
for
it any
Vader.
good, that stuff, Dorian? Is it any good?
The biomechanics on it, like Tom made everything. It's pretty good. The biomechanics, the quality of the steel in China, they're still improving it. Just not the same standard as like North America or Europe.
Yeah.
But like he actually did a good job. I helped him with actually quite a few pieces. But
Oh,
like,
and you have
he
your
did a good
own
job.
pieces coming out, don't you, as well?
Yeah, the pure iron strength.
And
Yeah.
when is that? Just for anyone that's
We
listening.
got like in about six weeks, the incline chest press and the original swing squat are going to be developed. They're going to be numbered units, so we're only making 100 of each
will
for
you
production.
be? Are they worldwide available?
Yeah, worldwide available. I think the first 100 might actually already be sold.
Okay.
Let
Well,
me
you
go
know,
to
if
the
there's any,
website, yeah.
listen, you let me know if they're not, because obviously opening the gym in December, yeah, and I need some good kit.
Oh, dude.
Yeah, I want one of those inclines. For sure.
Yeah, no, man, I'll help you. Like you got to call me. Like I'm.
I will, yeah, because you're in hot demand. There's probably about 100 people
Yeah.
on the queue, like you said, so
Yeah,
I will.
Yeah, but no.
I was asking that
anything.
question more for me.
and like anything, right? Like we distribute Panada, Atlantis, Jim LeCaux, like anything you need. Like we'll
Appreciate it,
take
man.
care of you. Like it's,
Yep.
I'm just on this podcast to handle business, boys.
No, you guys got me that Atlantis pendulum squat. Saved me a good chunk of money. Had it to me immediately.
Atlantis
it's
is
such
good.
a good piece.
Is the new Atlantis one? Yeah, this
You're
shirt's
going to
awesome.
see
I love that.
pretty soon. Chris's gym, people will see content. We just built him a private gym. It's pretty badass. It's got a lot of really cool pieces in there.
Yeah, I look forward to
Speaking
seeing
of that, how's everything going with your guys' gym, James?
Yeah, decent. Yeah, decent. Not super fast because we're working with like a builder friend of ours, so it's kind of like he's got a couple of jobs on, but we don't have loads to do, so it's not like we're like, oh shit, we're lagging behind. You know, little things done weekly. Our due date for opening is still December. It's no problem at all.
Have you, James? Have you already ordered all your equipment? Because lead times now,
yeah.
lead
Everything's already
times are
ordered.
like
Yeah,
30 plus weeks.
Jordan ordered all the equipment. That's our
5
Prime
months
was
ago.
already ordered. Our Atlantis has already arrived.
Good.
He's got like that relationship with some of the gym shop stuff as well. We got some old pieces that we managed to get hold of, some Cybex and old hammer and stuff. So we've got the kit's all good. There are a few pieces I still want, but they're just hard to source.
Yeah.
You know? You see some things that you really love, and I put the word about us at Muscleworks today, and obviously John that owns Muscleworks, he knows a lot of the guys. So I'm like, if you hear anything about this or that piece, let me know, dude. So you know, but there are things you can introduce as you go.
No, and that's the thing. Members love, and like, you know, Justin will know this. If you start off and then you're like improving and getting more pieces, it's like they're like jacked
They love
up,
it.
stimulated.
They love it.
People love just seeing the progression. They feel like they're a part of something that's evolving and they're supporting, and it's good.
Even if you ask them for their feedback, like what do they want to see more of? Do you guys want a leg piece or back piece?
I've always believed with the gym environment, that's the most important bit, and that's where, unfortunately, I feel that the gym I was involved with, and I separated myself from in order to pursue my own business, they lost that understanding that it's a very personal business. It's not just a business. You know, if you don't have a rapport with the members, and if you don't ask, and if you don't communicate, then what are you really doing it for, and how are you to know that you're creating an environment that they're going to love? You can't guess it,
man. Everyone wants to feel a part of it.
Yes, that's why I'm happy to do my own one now, because you can fully control that now.
You're gonna love it, man.
Yeah,
I'll give Dorian some credit here, man. That's one thing I really felt when I went to Pure was the sense of community that you guys built was incredible. And I haven't felt that anywhere else. Like, I have a good crowd and have a good community. Obviously, I'm in a much smaller place. So just the level at which you guys are able to do it was phenomenal.
We're really fortunate, though, that we have, like, you know, obviously Antoine and all the guys in the community. It's like when people come to a gym like that and they see all these pro bodybuilders and they're friendly and welcoming and want to help, it's just like, you know, so many people come up to me and they're just like, oh, my gosh, I can't believe, like, I asked Antoine for some advice and, like, he helped me out, or, you know. So it's like, you know, back in the day when I went to hardcore gyms, like, bodybuilders had that, like, that stigma of, like, hoodie up, asshole, don't bother them. It's like, it's pretty refreshing for a lot of people to be in the community and everyone's so friendly.
Yeah, I think it's because bodybuilders, like any of us here, we're honored to be able to train in a place that looks after us, and the respect is mutual. So, you know, having somewhere to call home and train and improve means a lot to us. So therefore, the least we can do is create a good environment for other people, and that's what I've always felt. I love when people, you know, come over and shake a hand, say hello. I think it lets you know what you're doing is right, and it lets you know also that the gym is somewhere where they're happy to be.
Yeah, it's good.
So
it's good.
It's cool.
Well, I'm excited for you guys, man. I know. Jordan was saying that he's pretty much only waiting for the Prime stuff, which seems
literally. So we got Yannika's doing a lot of the work for us. Actually, she's like my
fantastic.
You know, with all like that background stuff, you know, like your memberships and your, you know, software and hardware and stuff, like Yannika's all over that, and she's been really good. So I have to give her credit as well.
What software system do you guys go with for the members? Do you know?
So Ashbourne is ours. Ashbourne is the one a lot of the UK guys use. I don't know if they have a presence anywhere else, but in the UK they have a massive presence, and they're very user friendly. I've used them before. They have plenty of options, and
good.
They're easy to get hold of. Like, you can have a good phone call with them, and they're very personable. So, you know, if you ever walk into a problem, they will answer the phone call.
They're available.
That's good. What are you using, Dorian?
We have Gym Master.
Gym Master?
It's worldwide. It's a worldwide program. It's pretty good, but, like, you know, I hear management talking about some limitations with it, which is frustrating. But I think you're going to get that with any software system, right?
Yeah, I haven't been wild with what I have, but it's tough.
What's yours called?
So I'm using Glowfox. I don't know if you're familiar.
Glowfox. Never heard of that one.
Yeah.
No.
I mean, it's fine. It does exactly what it needs to do, you know. But
maybe gym owners can comment down below if they have.
Sure.
One
it's helpful.
You know, the best of the best.
For sure.
Problem is, my 24-hour key fob setup is set up on a different system than my actual point of sale software or my gym software. So it's like these two things that don't communicate with each other.
Okay.
Damn it. The previous owner is the one that did this, so I'd have to kind of gut his whole system and then redo mine. I just haven't done it yet. But I'm at the stage where I just need to do it because we're like checking in members on two different.
It's additional work you don't need.
Yeah.
So
I hear that.
Justin, how's the beef with the landlord going?
Oh, it seems to be going okay.
Did you ever find out if it was him or the employee that took a shit?
I didn't.
I would open an investigation on that, man. That would drive me crazy.
I know. Yeah, it's honestly a really crazy thing. I can't even believe it happened. But
yeah, that was insane. When I heard that on the podcast, I was like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah, that guy, he's out of his mind. And honestly, there's like a million stories like that because he used to own the place. So people come in. So when I took over, I mean, I had droves of people that were like, wait, like Larry's gone? Like, okay, cool. Yeah, he kicked me out because of this. Or like, oh, we had this issue because of this. Like, so, I mean, I probably have 200 members that were like kicked out by him for no reason. He's the guy that
James, did you hear, James, what happened?
No, I think I might have, but in vague. But I need a refresher because my brain's.
His landlord and owner of the building, they don't get along. So he ended up going into the bathroom and came out, and his staff was a female. She went in afterwards, came out, and was like, "Yo, Justin, he just took a dump in the middle of the floor." And
I did hear about this, but it's
I think I
didn't know if it was real or not. Yeah, I think we did.
A little bit later, a couple months later, the employee ended up lying about some stuff with Justin.
Oh, so now you're wondering.
He had to let her go. So he's like, fuck, did she take the dump?
She might have shot on your floor.
Yeah, because I fired her for lying about some shit. She started like talking to some of my members about like my money and my income. Like her boyfriend ended up working at my dispensary. So like I employed her at my gym and then he worked for me at my dispensary. So then it became this like weird toxic thing where she started talking about my other businesses, telling members about my money, how much money I make, and it's like, and she was just telling flat out lies. I had to get rid of her. Well, so she might have pooped on my floor, and she was kind of a dirty person.
Yeah, when you look back at that shit, did you see it? Did you see the shit?
I didn't see the shit. I wasn't there, that's
the problem. That's the problem. I feel like if you had seen the shit and investigated, you would have been able to tell if it was feminine or not.
You would know if it's feminine. Yeah, it's like,
it'd be like a little bit smaller and a bit more
cute little poop,
or is it like
a little rabbit droplet in the middle of the,
or did it just like splatter of fucking manly diarrhea?
So that's unfortunate we didn't have those details.
Yeah, I should have told her take pictures, send them.
Physical evidence,
some proof. Take a stool sample.
Oh, the problems we face, Problems we face.
Crazy. I've had weird stuff. People are fucking weird.
So Frank told in the other podcast we have, me and Juji told the craziest like poop story. He did. I'm not gonna say it. You guys have to go watch it. Maybe I'll try to find exactly when is it. But that was like,
Frank's got some good stories. He's a good storyteller.
Yeah.
Once you get him going.
We've all got good poop stories as bodybuilders, as men. I remember one time
What's that? Did Frank tell you a story about when he went to the bathroom? He was 17, and then they were knocking on the door. The toilet wasn't flushing.
No, he didn't. No,
I'm gonna wait for him to tell you in person. Then.
Okay.
I flooded my apartment at the Olympia last year.
Did you?
Yeah. I shat so much, and I kept flushing it. And it caused a blockage under my apartment, and it made the hallway carpet got soaked from underneath. So it must have. So the floor started to like if you walk on like a tennis court and it's wet. Yeah, that's what the whole hallway did outside of my room.
Water.
Yeah, shit water. So
how many shits?
You know what, Jay? It's weird because like most of us are struggling to shit on those days leading up to the show.
He's full of it. He's just full of it.
Do you know what is the problem? I'm going to blame the American toilets though, because they're nowhere near as like hardcore as an English toilet. If you come to England and do a shit, it will flush anything. You could put a dead body in a toilet and you'll flush it.
They got a fucking motor on them.
See, that's a world I want to live in.
Yeah, dude, because it's like this. The hole's like this.
The button down, like, come on, motherfucker,
mate,
fucking
the hole is like this, and the toilet's like this deep, and the water's like far away. It's not all at the top, so when you press it, it goes spills over. Like an English toilet is an industrial masterpiece. Put it that way.
Well, listen, your national food is the butter chicken, right, or tikka masala. So it's like
we need a good
Indian
toilet
food. So
everybody
keep up.
Yeah, you got to keep up with all this.
It's for sure. It's for sure.
These heavy loads that are cranking out of these gentlemen's butts.
How does a toilet flushing work? There's water, and then you remove the thing, the water goes down, and it goes and falls down. But
it's like a suction.
It's just gravity.
It's gravity.
It's like a siphon. When this comes down, it siphons out. Yeah.
So it's just a gravity thing. And
I don't know. It's very scientific.
Listen, I don't know, but I can tell you this: if you ever go to Japan, their toilets are the best.
Oh man, really? Japan!
Japan's one of the best toilets.
Like I went on one in my hotel. It had like a fucking channel changer. Where basically it was like heated massaging.
Yeah.
You want like a water massage. It shoots at you. It's like, dude, it had like 20 different functions on it.
It'll wash your asshole. It'll wash your vagina.
It will do anything.
It will. You can play music while it flushes or while you're shitting, so no one hears you. You can have birds chirping.
Like an hour.
Yeah, it's brilliant.
I've only heard whisperings and fairy tales of these toilets. I really want one.
They are something of legend.
No, Japan was like, hold on, I was there when you competed in Japan, James. I was there with Regan, right?
Yeah, I didn't compete though, did I? Because I just turned it into a holiday. I was there.
Oh, did you? Yeah, you were there. You were there.
Did you go to compete and didn't compete?
I was going to compete, and I won't. I'll be honest with you. It's kind of it was the end of the year when my mother passed away, and I was like, you know what, Jay? You've done a few shows, man. I just got 5th in Romania, which was pretty good for considering the year I had. So I was like, you know what? You fucking managed to get a top 5. Have a fucking holiday. So I was like, I'm going to go to Japan because I paid for it, and I just enjoyed it. And obviously, Regan and all the boys competed. So, but I was still there.
Remember in Romania when like I don't think you thought you were top 5, and then they called you. You were like gone, and you came running on stage.
I was in the audience. Yeah, I was in the audience. I because they didn't have me on the paper. They had the prejudging. They had something. They wrote it down wrong, so I wasn't in the top 6 as far as I was aware. So I sat down in the audience really upset because I was like, the way that the last call out was, I should be in this top 6 because I know that I was in the call out. So I sat in the audience and I was eating one of Juan Morel's cookies, all pissed off and angry. And I had my slippers on and my pajama bottoms because I was like, fuck this. And then Sean Ray comes on stage and goes, we need James on stage. So I just run through the venue in my pajama bottoms, slippers on stage in front of everyone. I go, sorry guys. And then I run backstage and I managed to, I was really happy because getting a top 5 at a pro show back then was like a big deal. So
that's awesome.
Yeah. It was funny. So
I barely made it on stage for finals at Chicago. Like we couldn't get an Uber to my Airbnb, like, or my hotel, and we're just trying to get an Uber, and Matt is like calling his buddy to see if we can get a fucking ride. Like we barely got there, and like I'm like pushing my way through the fucking crowd, like fighting to try to get back to people, and like I get back, I glaze, I pump up, I'm on stage. It was like
straight up.
Yeah. I will say that about Tim Gardner Productions. When they say they're starting finals at 5, they fucking mean it.
Yeah.
I even got an email. Like I checked an email and they're like, "Are you coming?" Fuck.
Oh fuck!
Wow.
It's nice though. Could you
imagine if I lost that? Could you imagine if I lost that show by not showing up to finals on time?
Oh, that'd be such a piss take, wouldn't it? Imagine,
dude.
I don't even know how that works. What is it? Just a DQ? Is it just a DQ straight away, like disqualification?
I would imagine. Yeah.
He's disqualified. He didn't turn up. Fuck, and he was in first after prejudging.
Yeah. Had straight ones after prejudging. I took too long of a nap.
Is there a bodybuilder who ever got DQ'd that we know of?
Well, like after being like doing well,
Cedric. No, remember Cedric missed the athletes meeting. To what year was that? It was somewhere overseas. He showed up. He missed the athletes meeting. I think Sean Ray was involved, and I'm pretty sure they didn't allow Cedric to compete.
Wow.
Whoa.
Yeah, it was like a couple years before the Romania.
Some of the guys in our federation, I won't name names because I don't think it's not important. Yeah, Brazil, Arnold Classic Brazil. Some of the guys I know turn up, don't even register for the show, and I've seen them turn up after registration's ended and still get in the show. And I'm like, wow, this is like so fucking like, why is he getting special treatment? Because I've seen it happen. Literally, their name's not on the list. We've all had to check in at a certain time. I see like an hour after registration's closed, some dude turn up to have a little chat, little handshake, you're good.
Yeah, wow.
Like, man,
and then they're turning Cedric away. What a fucking
shame. That's what I'm saying.
Could you imagine being the promoter and then pushing Cedric away, or like somebody?
He was such a draw and a great bodybuilder. That's just like,
dude.
even if he turned up late, I'd be like, get your trunks on, you're on last. Go on.
don't give a fuck, dude. Get
Yeah,
Cedric,
yeah,
get
yeah.
out here.
Yeah, I have a funny story about Cedric McMillan. So when I came back 2018 at the Toronto Pro Show, remember during the first show we really did together?
Yeah.
Yep.
So I'm at the way in. There was athlete chicken, whatever. Yeah, I look to the right, and then just Cedric is there with his like hoodie, like old. It looked like a fucking Walkman, and like cheap ass little headphones with little thing
Yeah,
like
yeah,
that.
yeah,
Yeah,
Little,
went
yeah.
over.
Plastic
and
fucking
I
yeah.
think it looked like a Walkman or like an old MP3 player, just sitting there, just like dressed up with like something you pick randomly to go to the gym or just to be comfortable in a pajama almost. And I said, "Hey, so who did you come with?" By myself. So nobody came with you? No, I'm here by myself. It's all right. Then he was just like hanging out by himself, and he said, "Yeah, I just came here because I want to get some money for for the
Donation,
kids
right?
back home or whatever." So okay, cool. And then he
Ced-
CC'd me.
Cedric was a very chilled guy. Like I remember obviously competing with him only like a couple of times, but yeah, he was always like kind of just in his own space, kind of
By
vibing.
himself.
Wasn't ever really a crowd guy, was he? I remember he was at Redcon
Yeah.
at the same time as me, and like I know he wasn't a fan of having like the cameras on him and that, which I get, you know, like he was kind of personal person.
Yeah.
He didn't like the business of bodybuilding, but he loved bodybuilding. Which you know,
Yeah.
he's
He
an
was
older chap.
He was a great performer.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
really
he
is.
really
Like I
was.
say in Romania when he won Romania, didn't he? When we were there, all of us. So
Yep.
you know,
Yeah. And it's funny, I've seen him in Romania. He had a hard time getting on stage. He wasn't feeling well. I don't know if you remember, but he
Yeah.
went out. I couldn't believe seeing him backstage how hurting he was. But then when he went on stage, he
didn't know.
totally flipped it, and performance was like flawless.
Yeah, it was
And
Chris.
he was
It was,
struggling to get out there. He wasn't feeling well. But then in Japan, a couple weeks later, when you were there watching James,
yeah,
he was backstage and like he was helping people. He was so nice and just like checking their tan. He was like, "Hey, let me help
yeah,
you, bro." He was really
yeah.
good guy.
Good, very, very good dude. Very good dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
seemed
I
like a
got some
guy that
questions here,
was
guys.
very,
I
very
got some
genuine.
questions here if you guys want to do that.
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's
Let's
do it.
questions.
Okay. This question is actually for because that was from the AZ channel, so it's for Doran mostly. But we can maybe all answer that. Where do you see HD Muscle in 5 years? What's the biggest goals for the company?
Oh, man, we're taking this one.
Put me on the spot here.
Yeah. Oh, geez, it's getting deep. No, I don't know. I
Yeah.
think we just want to continue doing what we're doing, continue to put out like the best quality products, and kind of be like a one-stop shop, shop for anyone that wants the highest quality products. Build out the health series, build out the performance line, and just see where that takes us. You know, we love this is what we love. We're passionate about. Continue building the team. You know, getting people that are aligned with our vision, and just have fun doing it, and keep the momentum going. It's been 3 years, coming up to 3 years here pretty soon. So it's going to be fun because we're going to the Olympia this year. We have a booth, so the team will be together. So yeah, just keep on sticking to our vision and keep. We'll see where it takes us.
Dorian, I texted you the other day to tell you that my labs came back, and I mean
Yes,
this.
I forgot to get back to you.
No, it's all good. But like my kidney values were bang on, all normal. My ALT was like slightly elevated, but like blood work was fucking bang on, and I was using the HD Health line the entire prep, and I'm not using it as a sales pitch.
It's crazy how much that stuff actually like helps,
humongous.
Right? And when we developed those products, like Dr. Khan, Deal Khan, who a lot of people know now, he's like famous in the stem cell world. But like when he helped formulate those, and like we were able to do blood work and look at the like cause and effects. It was pretty cool.
Cool.
That wasn't just like whipped together. That was like, I'd been working with a deal for a long time and, formulating that. It was pretty cool because he'd worked with he'd seen blood work of hundreds of athletes. So we came up with a system on the liver to like actually, there's ingredients in there to actually flush estrogen as well, because like the liver can stay toxic if it's holding on to certain, that's why the brocophane's in there. And synergistically with the TUDCA, the way it works, I feel like a lot of bodybuilders' liver enzymes were staying elevated because there was estrogen circulating in the system that couldn't get flushed. So then combining the brocophane helps to flush that out and just detox the liver. So it was pretty cool.
It's awesome, man. I got to compare because I got to look at my blood work from the last time, like after
pre HD versus
competed at nationals, and I was using a different health line, and I seen a very clear improvement in my numbers. But and honestly, like it was a pretty similar protocol, but I did use more drugs coming into this pro show than I did at the Olympia, or not at the Olympia, at Nationals. And so it was pretty cool to even see that, like, titrating dosages up slightly, and I still improved upon my blood work.
That's great.
Yeah, it's fucking cool, man. I was really happy.
It's good when you have these comprehensive like products like that. Like, you know, obviously I'm business partners with Jordan with the gym, and obviously I think you and Jordan share such a
very similar, a lot of similarities.
Like in regards to those kind of side of things. So it's you know, I can vouch for the importance of such things, because ultimately it allows everybody to, you know, be their best for longer and actually leave this industry in one piece.
But like the healthier you can keep your body even while you're in it,
the more you respond,
the more you're going to progress.
Definitely. Right? Yeah, the more responsive and receptive your body is to these things, you know, the healthier your body is going to respond better.
What's your I know you had like obviously I'm from the UK, so just coming from this standpoint, I'm in the UK. I know that you had like a stint where you kind of started some sort of UK thing. What's your situation with the UK and Europe? Like, are you looking to expand into that? Are you not? What's the plan?
As far as the brand goes, it's been a little bit challenging, like breaking into the market there, just to find fulfillment centers. You know what I mean? Like, we've always done everything in house, and the fulfillment center we worked with previously, which was the only approved, they were in, I believe, Germany. They were great when we worked with them, but during the pandemic, they were like a distributor. They did B2B and B2C. And they handled our hdmuscle.eu as a fulfillment. It was a great partnership, but with the pandemic, they ended up closing their doors. So we weren't in a position where we could fulfill it ourselves.
For sure.
So it's just tough. It's just, honestly, it's just finding the right partners to grow the brand. Because there's no sense in opening somewhere if they're not going to represent your brand the way you want it represented, right? You want it done right. It's like, do it one way or no way. So we're just taking things really slow. And you know, at the beginning, we were like really aggressive and like, let's conquer the world. But you got to make sure, like, you know, slow and steady, I think, wins the race, you know?
Yeah.
Every time, buddy.
Makes sense.
Yeah, and I will say people are, they want this in the UK. I get bugged about apparel constantly.
Again, I bring up Jordan, because I know that Jordan and I briefly had a conversation, and, you know, obviously we're opening the gym, and Jordan's one of these guys, like, even though he owns his own supplement brand, he likes a few supplement brands. And I remember him mentioning, he said, like, I'd like to reach out, or I can't remember, to like Dorian, for example.
We had a conversation.
Exactly. I know that he would like stock of said product. I know it's not the same thing, but just goes to show, isn't it? Like, again, from a standpoint of my business partner can, like, again, vouch to have something in our facility. And you're not going to put something in you're not going to put something in your facility unless you believe in it. So, and that's coming from a person who owns a fucking supplement company. So it's great to have those kind of
thing. I feel like there is that, like, I don't know what you want to call it, like, amongst the supplement owners, camaraderie, whatever you want to call it. But like, we were just down at Raw and Revive, right? There with Dom and Chris. And it's like, you know, for me, we don't have a greens product. So it's like, I use Revive's greens. It's a great quality product, right? I'll happily recommend that to someone. And the thing is, if someone's using HD pre-workout, you know, pre-HD Ultra, people are going to switch it up. I'm happy for them to go buy JP's pre-workout, because I know it's a great quality pre-workout.
That's what people do.
Raws, or, you know, it's like people are going to shop around. And you know what? As a business owner, it shows confidence. It's like, you don't need this ego, like, oh, just buy stuff. It's like,
absolutely. And listen.
Real
like,
life.
I know what it's like. Like, you're like, you know what? It's leg day. I fancy using this. It's chest day. I fancy using this. It's the way that the world works. But also as well, like, we are in a time where people shouldn't be afraid of collaborative work. I feel like collaborative work is like one of the best things that is actually of the current climate. I see a lot of great collabs, and I think that raising awareness of like multiple factors through one kind of joint venture is sometimes a really good thing. Not always, but
I agree.
Well, we're always stronger together, right? And I think the consumers want to be able to collaborate. They like to see, you know, like I'll post my morning gut health drink, and I'm taking our glutamine, the HD glutamine, but then I'll be taking, you know, Revive's GI product. You know what I mean? And like it's, you know, and obviously Matt's my coach, and people see me using that product, see me using HD's product. It sees that we're all kind of synergistically in this thing together.
Yeah, and it's like Dorian said, isn't it? You know, if your catalog doesn't have everything, then you can represent one of the people that you consider like one of your boys. Like within reason, like say you believe in someone else's company as well. There's no harm.
I think what it really demonstrates, like you said, Dorian, it demonstrates the confidence you have in
yourself,
your brand and your own company.
Yeah.
You know, and I will say that was extremely refreshing. Like you've never had any issues with me posting about other companies if it was something that we didn't have. You know,
it's actually one of the. It's not a great trait when people are so defensive. Because like I had it a few years ago. Like I had a supplement company sponsor me here in the UK, and they had some really good products, and I used to promote them all the time. I had a post, and they didn't do a multivitamin or anything. I had a pock of Animal Pack in the back of a thing. I didn't tag it or nothing, but it was in the back of a picture. But in the foreground was all the products from this company, and I got my wrist slapped hard for that. And I was kind of I was kind of like, well, like I didn't promote the other one, but I don't mind people seeing in their peripheral that I do take a multivitamin.
Sure.
Yeah.
It's more the message. It's not that I'm trying to sell that.
It's crazy. I've even tried doing. Yeah, it's like it's really frustrating because I've experienced it on the other side where I have had friends in the past where you want to do stuff with them because like I support them no matter what, but then just like they're not on the same page, and it's almost like then you end up finding out they're almost like jealous of you and they don't support you. And it's like you're like, hey man, if they're not buying my pre-workout, I'm happy for them to buy yours. Like why don't we work together and just like push like better quality products
in general,
because when we level up, everyone else levels up, and the industry gets better. The consumer gets better products. It's like it's just good all around.
For sure.
It's that famine mentality, and I think that there's enough for everybody. Everybody can eat, and I think that as a consumer, like walk into a fucking supermarket. Sometimes I'm buying Lay's, sometimes I'm buying Doritos, sometimes I'm buying fucking Pepsi or Dr. Pepper or Coke. You know what I mean? Like this, people, the consumers are going to bounce around, and everybody can still thrive and within the same space. You know,
for sure.
Even at the gym. Go ahead, James.
No, sorry, go on.
Oh, I was gonna say, even at the gym, like we just had Muscle Tech come in and do like, a big photo shoot. It's like we welcome other brands. Where some people are like, "Why do you let the other brands in?" Like I'm like, what do you mean? Like, why would we not want to support? They're a fellow. I mean, Muscle Tech inspired me when I was a kid. They were one of the first brands. They're down the street from us, like in Oakville. I'm like, I respect what they did in the industry. They're a legacy brand. Even like selling products or distributing products. We distribute in Canada. I'm like, we've talked with like other brands that I believe in that I would love to add. Like, say for example, JP. If you ever want to come to Canada, I would happily distribute his products with all of our contacts and supplement stores because I know they're great products, and it's like we can stand behind them.
It is refreshing, isn't it? It is refreshing when you kind of can discuss things like this with other people and not have this feeling of like walking on eggshells and be like, oh fucking hell.
It's the worst feeling ever. Like feeling insecure, wondering if you're upsetting somebody because you might have something on your shirt that you have to duck low to hide.
Put some black tape over it. Oh fuck, you know what I mean?
I got another question right here, guys. If you want to do that, so it says just pretty much, what do you guys think about the two guys who or more, but all the guys who won their pro cards, the North Americans? So
Elias
just happened, right?
Elias,
that kid is good.
Muscle. Yeah, he got his pro card. Cameron Cheek coached him.
Yeah, Cameron, another Cameron. He's doing a really good job.
Killing it, right? Yeah. Cameron's client. He's with HD Muscle from New Jersey. Really good guy.
Black kid, I think the black kid was Colossus.
Yeah, Ken looked nuts as well. Ken looked nuts. Yeah.
He won the overall. Yeah, this guy. He's good, man.
Wow. Flow. That's some flow.
So I was here that year at Nationals, and I watched him, and I think he just didn't quite nail his conditioning. But if you look at the package he brought to here, go down and click on the North Americans. Yeah, right. Fucking kid is good, man.
Wow, man. Those muscle bellies.
Yep, he looks almost like a Michael Lockett kind of.
He's got a Michael Lockett, Brandon Ray mixture going on, kind of. He's got this. He's
good.
Look at this crazy. Nobody will have like that freaking as a Lockett had though.
No, right? Lockett was different. I don't think Lockett could put body fat on.
Well, I think he actually did. He actually have like a myostatin deficiency.
Look at his face, dude. He's got like the most muscular jawline I've ever seen. The only other person that's got one like that is Andrew Jackson.
You know, it's going to be interesting. I'm actually Dr. Khan. So I just did like stem cell. Yeah, I did stem cells with exosomes. And he's actually has a follistatin like stem cell
it's an inhibitor
mixture.
for myostatin.
Yeah, so Chris was just down too, Bumstead, and he actually just did a whole bunch of stuff. So I'm excited to see how that transitions to the Olympia. And I'm going to do it myself too, the Myostatin, just to see. I want to see, like, how this actually works.
What if you just like end up growing muscles out of your ears and everything?
I don't think it's like that. I think and it's funny because I talked to Chris about that, and Chris was like, I was like, are you not scared of, like, maybe your obliques put on some muscle? But it's like nothing ever works like.
Well, I think you have to stimulate. Listen, you have to cause protein synthesis to that area for it to do that.
You got to be.
It's an IGF response, isn't it?
Yeah, if you're doing fucking side bends holding 100 pounds, I'm sure you're going to put some fucking muscle. Regardless, you're going to put muscle on there.
Yeah.
So I think it's just going to be specific.
But yeah, it's action, it's cause and then response, isn't it? So if you have to train something in order for this Myostatin to have something to work with, I would imagine.
That's such a mistake. I see so many guys doing that, like training their obliques, direct oblique training. Like, don't.
In this game, you want to keep that shit. You want to keep that shit as small as possible.
Mm-hmm. I had a kid.
Unless you're doing it for, like, functional purposes to, like, I don't know.
Yeah. I think a lot of people maybe just kind of coming from, like, a sports background will just continue, like, a lot of that like
carries over
football. Yeah. Because I had a buddy of mine who was, like, doing men's physique, and I would just be watching him with side bends like crazy. I'm like, dude, bro, fucking stop.
Yeah, there's a few exercises like that, though, isn't there? There's I can't really think of many more off my head, but yeah, there's like a few exercises that are misconceived and kind of carried over from, like you say, maybe a sporting background that don't actually have great purpose in what we do.
Yeah.
To name, I can't think.
Any like a direct oblique training, like whether like any twisting or anything?
No, I don't do any twisting at all. I do no twisting at all. I think the only time you should twist is for stretching.
I agree.
For rotational, rotational, flexibility, and that's it.
Yeah, I can agree with that. I don't do anything.
Just get the old stick, spin it around.
Yeah.
I do the stick to warm up, and I also do I've been starting doing this oblique machine, but like with like 10 pounds to practice my quarter turn.
Yeah, because you're jammed up. So
and
you're also you're creating like a little bit of a muscle mind. You're building a connection with that body part for that quarter turn.
Yeah.
So there's kind of more method to that, I suppose.
Yeah. I do it because I have L5S1 herniated disc, so putting my body through a little bit of load through rotation just strengthens those muscles and protects me, so I'm not at risk.
It'd be very interesting to see how weak most of us are in a rotational movement. Our jaw, like if we try and turn, mate, trust me.
I mean, if I'm being honest, I'm pretty weak in most movements. So
same. Unless it's like a fixed plane of motion.
Same.
Yeah, dude.
One of the strongest people in the world.
No, but it's crazy because I'm only strong, like I say, in like specific paths of movement. So, like say, like a squat. But then there's been times where I've had to like reach in the car and pick something up, and I'm like, Yannicka, can you get that for me?
Yeah, no stress.
Because Yannicka being a real person is stronger, like in certain.
I'd like to see James because he's so big and like a yoga how he would do with stability.
I have to join Antoine and fucking Juji for some
Antoine's really good at it.
Yeah,
I went today actually. I went back today.
Wow. Oh, I seen that. Yeah. You know what? I think that's going to be like one cool thing about coming on the back end of this. There's always new challenges to be presented.
Oh yeah.
Just getting flexibility and being athletic again. I rode BMX before I bodybuild. It's like watching James rollerblade. I'm like, man, maybe I will get back on my bike when I'm done with all this. And just go cruise around the skate park.
Yeah. I look forward to the time.
Shout out to Chris Chen from the Pure Muscle and Fitness, our member. He won the middleweight over 35. He's now one of the newest IBB pros. So
good for him.
Good for him.
He's been putting in work for years.
Oh, for Jim Doan. Sorry, it says Chen right here.
Team no waste.
Yeah.
Right.
Look at abs and thigh. There's like no waste.
I know he's been trying like for a little while now. I remember I think last year's North Americans, he didn't do as well as he wanted, and I was like, oh man, it kind of stuck.
He's quiet, but he put his head down and worked hard.
He walked by me. I didn't even say hi. I was like, kind of like to get to his own, but like,
click on that ab and thigh. I want to see that.
Yeah,
where is it?
It's right in the
middle one.
Oh, right here. Yeah.
Yeah, there's no waste.
Yeah,
it's good.
I know, very good. So he's been working hard, doing his thing, and this guy's legs are pretty good.
Yeah,
really good. When he's in the gym, you can see he has a good pair of legs.
You can tell he's like one of those like just 100% bodybuilder. This guy don't give a shit about what he's like. He's just like bodybuilding in the gym. Know that he's not distracted by anything. Yeah. He's there to train, not there to talk. No fluff.
I like
he's a hard worker.
I like
That's cool.
Hard worker.
James, are you still skating, dude?
I haven't for a little while.
Yeah.
Yeah, I probably will in prep, because when I'm in prep on my rest days, I think it's really good to do something different.
Keep yourself busy.
Yeah, and burn some calories. Like, I really contribute a lot of my,
yeah.
a lot of my energy expenditure last year on those rest days just came from going to the skate park for an hour in the middle of the day.
I used to live about a mile from the skate park, and I would ride my bike from my house to the skate park. And I remember I would full sprint the whole way there, and that was just what I did every day. I'd get off school, I'd get on my bike, and I'd full sprint. Like, I wouldn't stop pedaling till I got there. It was like just like a thing that I did. Holy shit! If I did that now, I would die.
It's hard, man.
No
when I was over in Texas, I took Tuttle to the skate park. And got Tuttle bought skates just because I forced him. I actually forced him, and even Flex bought a pair of skates again. And
they used to skate.
Yeah, a little bit. I think Flex skated a bit more than Tuttle, but Tuttle was pretty good, like naturally. Like, he put them on because he's done, motocross and like sports and stuff.
Yeah,
he's got pretty good fucking balls and balance. Like, he just goes for it. So he was like probably giving it a go, but he's got a skate park not far from his house, and we had a good time. I think he took Juji there. Yeah, so that's the skate park that me and so we went to that skate park when I was over.
Juji looks good.
Juji looks perfect for the role.
Always looks good. Yeah.
So it'd be cool. I would like to go back and actually have some fun with the two of them. But Chris is really
grinding
good.
some handrails, and it's so crazy. And you like 540 or like 450 over a corner of a pyramid.
Yeah, I used to do 720s quite easily when I was younger, but obviously that's a long time ago.
It's crazy, man.
I love watching skating. Some of the guys are fucking brilliant.
I know I could go to the skate park and like cruise around the bowl, maybe grind, some of the quarter pipes or something, and I could definitely get my heart rate up there. So maybe I will.
It's fun. It's good as well. And like you said, when you're trying to reinitiate your relationship with like balance and stuff, what a fun way to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Chris looks so good all the time, doesn't he?
Tuttle is I think he's the guy who retired that looks the best, the most like a bodybuilder, and the best. Not as big.
Well, he's going to be like a Lee Labrada where he's just shredded.
Mate,
when
I stayed at his house for a few days. We went to that gym. It's the Absolute Recomp, and we were in that room. And I'm like, I'm not taking my fucking top off, man. Like, Chris, you're the bodybuilder. You're the bodybuilder still. I'm not taking my top off.
He looks good.
He does.
You train hard as well. Chris can train hard. Train very hard.
I believe it. He looks like he's training hard.
Yeah. He's one of my favorite people, I'd say.
He's a great guy.
I like those videos he did for posing.
Posing?
I thought they were really helpful.
Yeah, very good. Very good videos. Very good videos.
Yeah.
He puts out a lot of really, really good content, even just like his nutrition content and all that.
He's
stuff.
coaching. Like, he's a great coach as well.
He is.
Absolutely. Super nice guy.
Yeah. And do you know what? His wife's funny as well. They have a really good relationship. Like, there's a lot.
Dude, she's a maniac.
They have really good banter.
We did that podcast at the Olympia with the Hostile booth, and like we interviewed him and his wife. And,
I bet she was filthy.
She was a fucking handful. Yeah,
she don't care, man. She when we were over for the Olympia, obviously Lee Priest was over, and Lee's got the most.
Oh boy, yeah.
Lee's got the most foul mouth ever, and that was he knew that she enjoyed that, and she knew that he would talk like that, so she was just egging him on, and it was
leaned into it. Yeah. She's funny. You know what? It's funny because Chris is so soft spoken. He's just such a like.
You wouldn't think. You wouldn't think he's going to be
docile,
rude.
But like, yeah. It's just like almost polar opposites, but they seem to really, really have a fucking very awesome and fun dynamic.
Good people.
Yep.
Yeah, I like Chris a lot. Shout out to fucking Chris.
Shout out, Chris.
It's totally trust.
Drink more.
Drink more. Yeah, drink more. Drink more. It's nice actually.
Drink more every day.
The drink more is really good.
Yeah,
it's really good.
I drink more every day.
I got to try it at the Olympia. He gave me a sample, but I haven't had it since.
Good stuff. They're nice if you mix them. They're really good as well.
Yeah, I should order some up and show some support.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see if I got. You guys, when I ask for questions on my Q&A, I get hundreds of questions, and then I do it for the podcast, and you guys send me like a dozen. So you guys do better, damn it.
Yeah, maybe just say questions, and then they don't know.
Yeah, but I kind of was hoping it'd be addressed for the group, or try like a podcast dynamic.
I hear that.
Because a lot of what I get is like training or like direct like drug questions, which I tend to avoid. But,
yeah, they get a bit boring. They get a bit boring after a while.
One sec. So I'll find another one.
Well, one
What do you
question.
mean?
Someone said, "Is there a
You
reason?"
mean there's no secret? There's no secret drug protocol?
Yeah, there's no.
Well, I'm just not going to tell it, Dorian. You know the secret drug.
Yeah.
You know the secret drug protocol.
Yeah,
we
true,
all
true,
know.
true.
We all know what the pros are
A
doing.
little bit of this, a little bit of that.
And like everyone also has like special pharmaceutical stuff too, right?
Yeah,
Like,
apparently the pros. Yeah, apparently the pros don't use multivials.
Yeah,
everybody was blown away that I had like a funky source. It was like, how the fuck does a guy like him have a bad
with
source?
all your connections. Like,
what Matt didn't have you? I'm like, man, I'm like, hey Matt, will you please set me up? I'm like, dude,
yeah, come on,
hilarious.
Come on, people.
I love when I hear that shit. It's so funny.
Yeah, I know. I mean, don't get me wrong, we're all connected. I have a million people I could give a phone call to, but you know. So someone asked why these aren't being uploaded to Spotify. Do we have an answer for that?
Yes, I do.
What's the answer then? What is it?
The answer is
not going to tell you.
Is because Aaron is uploading this on YouTube, and I think Mariah is the one deciding who does what, and they're prioritizing photo shoots of products and other things.
Yeah.
Timing.
If there's a demand for it, I'm sure that we could make some time and.
I've been asked a few times. Yeah, obviously, like our producer that does this, that uploads these, does the YouTube content, is also full-time photographer, videographer for HD, and there's just a lot going on.
It's not a reason that we don't want to do it. It's just that we just gotta find the person and the time. And there was this thing actually, Doran, that we had that uploads it everywhere at once.
Oh yeah,
I still have the password for it somewhere.
Yeah,
I could probably whip it out, but it's just that you'll have to. It's just more like reps on the computer and sitting down and stuff. It's more of like scheduling, right? So I don't even think Mariah and Aaron even thought about that. Yeah, maybe we should do that, but
I know I feel bad.
I think
it's something new.
I think people underestimate how much fucking work goes into a lot of this stuff. Like even like just running your own YouTube channel, like trying to make sure you're getting enough content done on there, and then uploaded. And bro, it can be a bit of a nightmare. Like obviously, we all wish for our YouTubes to be booming and bringing us in a good income, but in a real world, like you've got shit to do.
It's tough. Yeah. I don't always have the time to schedule my videographer, or like sometimes I just don't
fancy
to
it.
film because,
sometimes you just want to train.
I'm trying to prepare for the Olympia, and I've got a tight schedule, work stuff. Like, man, I would love to be constantly providing content.
Do you find this as well? Like, because sometimes you just want to have a genuine workout.
Yep.
And it doesn't. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you think you're genuine or not. When you have someone there who's not part of the usual format, it changes the concept. It changes the concept.
The dynamic shifts a little bit, and there's also, I enjoy it and I have a good time, but there's still a little bit of stress associated with it, and it can not feel the same, and maybe not set the trajectory for your day.
Yeah. You can end the day and feel like, okay, that wasn't how I normally like this to be, and that's enough for you to be like, you know what, you need to feel confident.
Man. Sometimes I have so much going on in my day that like the last thing I want to do is, and I love my videographer, he's a good kid, but we end up talking and like,
of course, because they are your mate at the end of the day.
Yeah, of course. And then we end up like, I'm communicating with my audience. So then like a 90-minute training session sometimes will take me 3 hours.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, I got to do cardio after this, and I got to eat 3 more meals. Like my day is fucked.
You don't go to bed till fucking midnight like me because I'm a weirdo. Yeah. And then you're not.
No, that's me every day. I'm like about midnight. And
then mine is my own thought. I said this earlier to Antoine before we came on. I set myself up for failure because I get on to Call of Duty at like 9, 10, 11 p.m. and then the night takes me where it takes me. So that's my vice.
Yeah, I used to play a lot of Call of Duty, and I haven't really been into. I'll still play like a round of like team deathmatch or free for all, but like I never like when like Warzone dropped and got huge. That's kind of when
that's when I came in.
Awesome.
That's when I came in.
Yeah,
that's when I came in.
I used to play zombies a lot. I don't know if you ever played like the Call of Duty
zombies. Zombies are fun.
See,
zombies are sideways.
You are sideways. Do you know what? Because I tried to host a few. These like private matches, like I hosted like a lobby where I'd invite everybody, get like 150 people to play, and then give away like a good prize. Yeah. I do eventually want to be doing that and giving away like money. Like I eventually want to host like lobbies and have some pros come and play in there, and then do like a giveaway of like £1,000, sponsor it by like myself or something. Because I love gaming. I stream.
You stream your gaming.
I do stream. But I only got like a little following, but I really, I do actually have a fucking passion for playing games. I have to say.
Well,
Gaming,
it's yeah. I've just found like as I got older, I have less and less patience for it.
Yeah.
It's like I fucking love it, but I'm also just so easily distracted.
Yeah, I'm the same way. When I was young, I loved it, but as I got older, I can only play with my friends now.
Yeah.
Like if I'm with friends and we play, I fucking love it. But I can't sit down on my own.
Yeah, like I'll have with Jasmine, we'll play like we've got the new God of War and we played the whole God of War together. Like it's amazing.
That's cool.
Nice.
The thing is, it's like it's kind of like sorry. The last thing I was gonna say. You know how we're like on here now, just chatting.
Yeah.
That is generally what I do every night with 4 of my friends. I've got Discord on there, so I see them, and we're playing a game and killing motherfuckers at the same time, having a laugh. So that's why it's so addictive.
Yeah, I can see that. See, that's not what I'm doing. I'm just sitting on my couch in my living room playing by myself. Yeah. And I turn everyone's mics off so I don't hear anybody. Yeah.
Antoine, did you know that Dr. Khan was actually like a professional gamer before he like went and became a doctor?
No shit.
Gamers,
really?
Yeah, he was like
during school. He was a gamer.
I think he was like he could have went pro like as a gamer, whatever that means.
Well, what
That's
game?
crazy.
I think it was Halo.
Yeah, that was probably about the right time. Halo used to have a massive, it was a massive thing back in the day.
I was always a PlayStation guy, so I never played Halo.
Not to tell anyone that. I can't remember.
Now the world knows.
Doesn't want to ruin his credibility.
That just makes him even like cooler.
More relatable. Yeah,
I think so. Yeah, more relatable. Yeah, it's fucking cool.
I think more. Yeah, I think more people than we know probably have a history with something along those lines.
Absolutely,
because it's an age thing as well.
I play every day. I try to play every day, to be honest, because sometimes like I don't watching TV is something I will do with Taylor, my fiance.
Yeah.
But if I want to have really have some time for myself and I want to not think about anything, video games the thing is gonna zone me in because it's like I'm actually doing something actively with my hands.
Yeah.
Because on the TV I can watch something.
I feel lazy watching telly.
My phone. I'm getting up to the bathroom. When I'm gaming, I'm like, I gotta go pee right now. But I'm too much.
Takes all your attention.
Yeah.
No, I've actually.
I am gonna piss really quick. I'll be right back.
Go for it. I actually have a Nintendo Switch that I've been playing. Mario during my cardio.
Really?
Yeah.
Taylor, she's been playing the new Zelda.
Yeah. So is Jasmine. Jasmine's playing the new Zelda.
Yeah.
Jasmine's a pretty dedicated gamer. She'll lock in for a couple hours, and crank away.
Wow.
Yeah, she's good at it too. Like she'll play Call of Duty and she's fucking good. She's better than I am for sure.
Yeah.
And we always play these games. Like I talk about playing God of War, and we get to a point in the game where she's so fucking good at it, and the game progresses to a certain point where I just can't keep up. I go to play, I'm like, what the fuck?
Really?
I'm
so she's better than you.
Oh yeah, for sure, definitely.
I think the last time I played by myself or alone, I think was 2009. It's been that long.
Yeah.
21 years old.
That's a PlayStation 3 then, yeah?
Yeah, it might be a 3 or whatever Xbox was then too.
Yeah.
I still have all my systems though.
Someone wanted to say hello really quickly.
Oh yeah.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello.
How are you?
See you?
Oh, we can't see. She can't hear us.
How are you?
Yeah.
Are you
Tell
good?
her we miss her.
Justin says we miss you.
Yeah.
You
See
coming to
you
visit
at
us,
Olympia?
Justin?
Huh?
I'm supposed to come in December, hopefully.
Yeah,
for the
we're going
gym opening.
to try and sort it out. Right. You go to IKEA now. It's all right. Don't worry. See you later. She's going to IKEA.
Ta-ta.
Ta-ta. See you later, love.
Yeah, I'm hoping because Jordan said he didn't have an exact date yet. He wanted to know, lock in a date for the opening, and then we were going to look at flights.
Yeah,
we'll see. Hopefully it works out.
Me and Yannick have suggested the 8th of December being the opening day. It's Friday, so we'll see.
Fucking A. Yeah, be cool.
Sweet.
What day is it?
Exciting.
What day?
The
8th of December is the plan.
Oh, what is
coming up?
I think Jasmine's
no,
doing
December.
December.
Not
December.
He thinks it's now. He's like,
You're gonna love that.
To the UK for real.
Yeah, I'm relocating actually, so I'm keeping my house here in London because it's worth keeping because they just go up in value with fucking time. And then I literally was down there yesterday looking at houses to rent for now, and I found a very nice 2-bed house yesterday, and we've gone through with it. So I'll have that for September time, so then I can start situating myself down there.
Congratulations.
Yeah, and just
awesome.
Then I can oversee the things I need to oversee a bit more because right now it's okay being here in a minute, but I want to be a bit more, I want to be.
It's really smart though to keep your place in London if you feel like the value is going
Dude,
up higher there, and just
it
rent.
would. If I bought a house in
else.
Cheltenham, it's not going to appreciate like the value of a house here.
The same.
Yeah, so
very smart.
It's future proofing myself, to be fair.
And I'm sure you can pull really good rent there in London too, right?
Yeah, my house here is like right near 2 train stations that take you to central London in a matter of like half an hour, not even that. I'll make you pretty close to £2,000 a month, probably.
Yeah.
So that would actually cover rent somewhere else if I wish to do that.
Yeah.
So
brilliant.
so it's pretty decent. So just we're getting to that age now. I'm 34 now, and like you think of things very differently than you did, 6 years ago.
Oh,
Isn't it crazy how fast it changes though, from like 28 to 34?
Mate, absolutely.
It's just like it's wild.
Go from a kid who's trying to figure it out to like, oh shit, I gotta have this figured out.
And I have this, I am a thinker, and I have this with me every day, and it has benefits, but it also does sometimes make it harder to not commit to bodybuilding. But like you have that naivety when you're younger, and bodybuilding, being naive is actually what accelerates your progress sometimes, in a sense that you never contemplate anything that could block you or get in your way, or potential hazards or anything. You just go, and
all your energy. And
focus. And now I'm like, I contemplate every possibility, and
a little more rational.
But you know what? And I'll say this, and I say this a lot, and people sometimes think I'm a bit odd for saying it, but the older I've got, the less I care about being compared to other people. Which
doing it for yourself.
You're doing it for yourself, and some people find it really odd for a professional bodybuilder to say is that you don't wish to be compared. But it's different being compared and wishing to be compared. Like it's not like I know it's part of the parcel and what it is, but my goal is to get on stage, and I don't really think anyone's better than anybody or worse than anyone. That's kind of that was my ethos since last year, and that's why last year went pretty smooth for me because my mindset changed. And some people say, well, you need to get a hunter's mentality and be a bit more aggressive. Trust me, I still got that. Like I still look at guys like Regan and Nathan and that, and I still want to kick the shit out of him on stage. But it's just your approach is a little bit different now. I don't really know where I'm going now.
I think I might change too, though. As you're younger, I feel like you almost get validation by getting placings or status, right? You're almost like, oh, if I win a show, people are going to respect me or appreciate me. Whereas you get older and more seasoned, I think you just like, you're doing it more for yourself and for the right reasons. The ego, I think, kind of like shifts a little bit as you get older,
As you get older, your decisions seem to be based on self-respect versus respect from others. So, you have to the importance of respect shifts. The priority when you're coming up is what does everyone else think of me, and then you get to an age where you're like, man, what do I think of me?
Important.
Well, what I want to say, that I appreciate hearing that because right now, like obviously I won Chicago, but a lot of people had things to say about that, whether it be good or bad. It was overwhelmingly positive. But I do find myself giving a fuck about what a lot of these people have to say. And I think there's two sides of it where like, fuck them, whatever, I don't care. But then there's also a side that I'm using it and I really want to be better at the Olympian. I want to fucking prove to these people, like, but maybe that's not a good thing. Maybe that's not healthy.
No, I think it can be used positively, man. When I won the Europa back in the 2021, I was going into that prep and Rami was meant to do the show. And I had everyone in my ear saying, Rami's doing it, you can't win. And I just had this fuck off mentality. Like I was like, okay, I weren't horrible, but I was like, you have to. It's okay to take a little bit of what's thrown at you and use it as a fuel,
But do you think, Justin? It's like, do you think though that is like you're trying to prove them wrong, or a part of you is like, man, I don't want to hear that from them. Are they right? And you just want to prove yourself right.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely an element of that, and I think coming out of that show, there wasn't a lot of accurate representation of what a lot of these guys looked like.
Oh, mate, I know that.
The content was just horrible, and we've all seen that happen. And there's a part of me that just wants to make sure that doesn't fucking happen again. I personally want to have something that I'm proud of.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing. That's the biggest thing.
I want to make sure I get on stage next time and I walk away with tangible things that I can look at.
So I think that you're doing it for yourself. I think you want to be proud.
For sure.
I think it's for you.
I think all of us could walk away from this if we could just for one fucking show, get a round of pictures that we look at. Oh, man, I was the dog's bollocks of that show. That's it. That's all
Yeah,
it is. Like, it don't matter if you even if you didn't win
yeah.
that fucking show. Like, if it's the show where you're like, man, that was me at my absolute fucking peak, the peak that I have always been trying to display. That would be
Nailed
For
it.
sure.
yeah, man. And then that would be you being able to be like, you know what, I'm done with this part. That's cool.
Yep.
It's waiting
Now
for
we
that.
can roll. Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure,
know what?
man. And obviously, like
That's
placings, winning that show was everything to me. It was huge. I mean, it was the big. I mean, I won my pro debut. It was a huge accomplishment. But then on the back end of that, there was still this. I was hanging my head a little low because I didn't have anything I was really fucking satisfied with and proud of. There's a few shots that I'm like, this was okay, but not like going, fuck yeah, dude, look at this. I'm not taking this home to show my mom.
But we are more victim of that now in the social media age, because remember before when you won a show, it was just like the whispers of, oh, he won that show. You'd only hear from the people that were there. They'd be like, man, he looked incredible. And that was kind of enough.
Or the magazine.
Yeah. And that was kind of enough. But now it's like 150 people are taking pictures on all different types of fucking devices, and it's like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
So, and then it gets, and then it gets all this, it gets misconstrued.
And also I think we see it in general, like there's some hateful, insecure people out there that are just pouring their worst into this comment section.
Yeah, I know that feeling, bro.
And obviously there's overwhelmingly positive. Like even sometimes this podcast will get some comments, and then I read some of them, and it's like maybe a dozen comments, and but then I go, wait, 15,000 people watch this. Get off the screen. Don't give this any attention. I'm serious. Get off of there. I don't want to read these shitty comments. I mean, there's good ones too. Like, don't get me wrong. But what I'm saying is, if you look at 12 comments, but 15,000 people watched your fucking show, put 15,000 people in a room. I guarantee you there's more than 12 fucking assholes in that crowd.
There is.
You know what I mean? So it's just kind of important to have that perspective. And
so sometimes we always focus on the one, like there might be 100 comments there, and maybe there's 5 that are bad, and then we hyper focus on the 5 that are bad.
Yeah,
right?
I try to do a better job of engaging with the positive ones, right? But like something about that, it just draws you in.
But then but at the same time, I do think sometimes we do need to acknowledge these dickheads and say they're dickheads. And like, 'cause I don't want everyone always to be able to just say what they want and then walk away happy.
I know.
Like sometimes I'm like,
but the other side of that
you're
is
like, do you even want to acknowledge them? Do you even want
that's
to
it, man.
No, like, but then the part of me inside kind of does.
I know what you mean.
You know what I mean?
I know.
You know what I mean?
Don't get. Listen, I'm still a petty fucker, and I want to rip into these guys.
Yeah.
But then you're giving them exactly what they want. They're just hoping for a response.
Yeah.
And it drags you down with them.
The best thing you can do in a situation like that is just come onto them with a really like kind of homosexual behavior. Like honestly, my tip. If anyone has ever given me like proper, like really upset me or pissed me off or tried to get to me, I just like say some really fruity shit and come onto them, and then they're like, "What is going on here?" Like,
that works in fistfights as well.
It does. Just
Yeah.
Get them in a headlock and then start kissing their head, and they're like,
Antoine, you keep getting bullied.
Sorry, Antoine.
Your audio's so low, so we can barely hear you when you
How's
start
it
talking.
low?
Yeah,
it is
it low for you guys?
I think it's
it's a little
better now.
Yeah,
better now. Yeah, way better.
Yeah.
Oh,
Now you can join us.
I think depending from podcast to podcast, it's just lower or higher depending. I should do a test before with you guys every time. But no, we're saying that. Let's say if you there's 100 comments, there's one negative comments. You think it's 100% of the 1% of the people? No. There's only 1% of the people commenting in the first place. It's 1% of the 1%.
Yeah,
it's 0.01%.
Yeah, because the thing is, if I like something, that's a good video. I'm not gonna comment.
Yeah, we don't all
something really like it. Yeah. But if something which it doesn't, but if something would make me really mad, I would react more to that than if something makes me more happy.
Yes,
right?
it's actually easier to comment if you're angry.
For sure.
Yeah, exactly. Because you're emotional, right? If you're emotional, you don't think right, and your IQ goes down. Then you're gonna say stuff you regret or you don't really mean.
Yeah.
So all these bad comments, like I try to like you said, Justin, to comment on the good ones.
For sure.
But there's one comment. Usually I always ignore, but there's one comment that was like, man, like come on, man. So it's like this guy. I posted a throwback of me when I was 20, and the guy said, "Oh wow, you look terrible now. What happened?" And I said, "Well, Father Time, I guess." I responded, but because that one I was like, man, come on, man, like that was like because it was kind of mean, right? But so sometimes it does affect me, but I don't think about it. It's like, come on, like of course I'm gonna look different in like 16 years. 16
Yeah.
years, you're gonna look different. So it's like so it's fine. But sometimes like I said, if I want to reply, I'm like, I should give my attention to somebody who was actually nice to me.
Yeah. Well, and it's also just like looking at the general consensus. So I posted a front double picture 2 days out from the show or whatever. And I remember there was like 3 comments. It was like Evan Senapani was like, yo, this looks crazy. And then Jay Cutler commented something positive. And then Seth Feroci was like, this is nutty. Left a bunch of emojis. It was like really positive comments from fucking legends.
Yeah, absolute legends.
And then right below that is like a few assholes going, yeah, your legs are a little small. If you brought your legs up, you're like, okay. And you end up paying attention to those guys. It's not that I don't know that maybe my legs could come up. Of course, like maybe
but we everything these fuckers say, we know. Like we agree, but we've had the bollocks to stick to the plan and get on stage and fucking present ourselves.
At the end of the day, everyone is doing their best to be their best.
Yeah.
So it's like, if you see something that you think I need to improve on, like you don't fucking think I know. Like I'm the most critical of my physique.
Absolutely, we all go into a show.
Nobody's more aware.
We all go into a show like, okay, I haven't got the best of this bit, but I've got a good bit of this bit, so it's going to be this versus that. We go with our strengths and we just basically play a game of, cards. We're like, okay, is my 9 going to beat your 8 of whatever? Like you might,
you're trying to hide your weakness.
Yeah, like that's all it is. It's like we're so aware. Like I could absolutely tell you that in the shows I've done that. I'm one of the narrower guys and I've got smaller this than that. But then you make up for it in development elsewhere or condition or something.
Density.
We're the most aware of our faults because that's why we bodybuild.
Yeah.
Well, we're professionals at the end of the day. We didn't get here by accident. We got here through being very critical and working very hard at our craft.
Yeah.
Even when you look at like the top 3 from Mr. Olympia last year, it's like, those are the best in the world.
And you still say something.
Still pick them apart.
Yeah.
And you can be like, oh, Nick structurally this or that.
Yeah.
And you can look at Derek and be like, oh, his quads.
Derek could be harder through the chest.
Arms could be harder in the arm. It's like, and those are the best. Like everyone, nobody's perfect. How many guys were actually perfect? It's a very.
I don't think anyone's ever been.
Ronnie.
I think the closest thing we had to perfect was like a Phil Heath 2008 Arnold where he got second.
But even Phil,
still, he was narrow
clavicles.
Genetically, he was narrow clavicles.
And then it's defined perfect, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know what's crazy? We're doing all this, trying to gain muscle and perfect our bodies and stuff, and then we're on this continent, this planet, solar system, galaxy, and then ever expanding universe, and then there's like maybe other universes.
Whoa! You say that. The reason you say that is why sometimes I'm sitting at a 34-year-old and I'm like, is what I'm doing a bit trivial?
Does it matter? Yeah, it's tough.
Do you know what I mean? Because when you're already feeling that way, sometimes you do think that.
Oh, but last week I was.
You only know what you think you know, right?
Yeah, exactly.
At the end of the day.
Exactly.
Yeah. It's like because of the impermanence of things, because we're so insignificant compared to the grand scheme of the universe, does it matter in the end? But the thing is, I think it matters very much so because it's the only fucking life you're gonna live.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
And again, when you find yourself approached by someone who says you helped me,
that's it.
That's all that matters. Yeah, like today I was at Muscle Works. Like I said, I walked out and some fella introduced himself, and it made my day. It was just like, I met you a few years back at the opening of one of the other King's gyms. I've been following your stuff ever since. Really appreciate what you do. And like, that's purpose, man. And I think all of us, all we really want in our life is just to have a positive impact on people. And that's it.
Yeah. How many people can you help or inspire or impact, right?
Well, and I think we all know that when we work hard and we accomplish things, we feel better about ourselves. And that's better energy that we're putting into the air and better energy that we're receiving back. And if we can do that and inspire, like, we've all been there where we, walk into a gym and a young man will approach you and tell you that he's training because of you. What was that? I guess you guys weren't there, but when I was in Canada, I walked into the supermarket and the kid came from the deli counter. It looks kind of like an overweight, chubby kid, doesn't look like he worked out. And he came up and made a point to like track me down and tell me that he watches all my videos and I'm the reason that he got into training. Yeah. Just some random kid in Toronto.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Amazing. Like how fucking cool is that,
It is super cool. Yeah.
So like when you're going through and you're reading a few shitty comments, you're like, man, I feel like if you guys knew me, you'd probably like me. I'm a good guy. Like I fucking, man, this sucks. You know, you feel like
and you got to think that person that did that comment. How many people do you think that negative person ripping on people has helped or changed their lives or inspired somebody?
I'm willing to bet. So it's like, you know, yeah.
And you know what? If you feel that low about yourself, and you feel like you have to take it on others, just go fucking lock yourself in a room, keep to yourself, you fucking arrogant little prick.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, but you know what, James? There's one way that I've looked at it before, and I was like, that's true. So let's say if you post, we'll take Justin for example. Justin posts a picture of his of something is from the bowl or a reel from the podcast, and somebody right away will write something negative and mean. So it's like, wait a minute. So the best thing, the only thing you got from this image, the only thing you got was something that's negative enough for you to react to it and post it all of your life and post it. So the only thing you got, your whole life experiences, like in this moment,
couldn't draw a single ounce positivity from it.
Filter this information into something bad. That's the only thing you got. I feel bad for you.
Yeah.
Right? Because that's how I see it. So now I try to, like, when I'm not emotional too much, when I'm more like clear-minded, I try to have like every time something is like somebody does something mean for no reason, right? It's like I try to have like compassion.
Yeah.
Because we're all sick at different levels.
You know, you always got to empathize with these people. I mean, you really don't. A lot of these guys are just fuckers and they're trolling on purpose, and that's what they want to do. But did you guys see the message thread that I sent you of that guy commenting on my page?
I didn't see this.
Yeah.
And I just kept saying positive stuff at every response. He'd be like, "Yeah, I couldn't make it through the fucking. I listened to the podcast and it was shit and this and that." And I said, "Hey man, thanks for listening." And then he was like, "Don't get me wrong, I'm still hoping you do well, but the podcast is shit and nick this and nick that." I said, "Hey man, I appreciate your support." Yeah. And then he was like, "Ha ha ha, thanks buddy. This is too good." And I was like, "Yep, have a good night." And he liked it. And it was like, by the end of that, I didn't engage. Like we were like friendly.
Yeah.
Even though he was a total cocksucker. This guy was such a...
Maybe some of these people just need a little bit of love in their lives, isn't it?
You know, sometimes people will message and then I'll respond. They're like, "Oh my God, I didn't expect you to respond. I'm a huge fan." I'm like, dude, you just told me I was a shit bodybuilder. What the fuck, you know?
That's
but then they're like, "Hey man, I watch all your content. Big fan. Sorry about that last comment. I didn't mean it." Like, damn. It's just like, I think people are just seeking attention, and maybe that has some psychological thing from their childhood where maybe they weren't loved as a child, you know?
Yeah.
It's like in the movies. I think I've seen that somewhere. Like the guys, like they're fighting and stuff, and then the person just like grabs and hugs him, and then
start crying. Yeah.
That's all. So they just need a fucking hug. You know, people,
maybe that's what we need to do. We need to hug.
It's like he's hurting inside. He just needs to.
You know what scene that reminds me of? It's a little different, but in the movie with what's his name? In Brothers, when he's fighting at the end of his brother, and his brother won't tap. He won't tap, and he's like,
warrior,
chokehold, and he's just like, warrior. Yeah. He's like trying to get him to tap. Yeah. He's like telling him he loves him.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
It was like so.
That's funny.
It's true.
Yeah. That's funny.
Good shit.
Now I watch that film again.
It was good.
Yeah. You know what? When I think about like with them and stuff, so when I think about myself, when I feel the worst mentally, it's actually when I think I fucking suck all the time. Yeah. So like when I feel the worst mentally is when I actually look at myself in the worst way possible. Yeah. So I'm wondering if all these people were like, because I'm just going from what I know, right? I wonder if all those people were like kind of the haters and stuff. Do they feel like that all the time?
I think, you know, when do you feel most negative in yourself? Let me just start like, do you notice it's a rest day when you normally feel pretty shit? Just out of curiosity, like if you're not occupied.
No, I think when
if you're not occupied and I don't have something going on.
So what I was trying to say is
slip into a mild depression.
And that's what I think. I think what it is a lot of people that are, you know, that do attack. It's because there's a lack of things that are occupying them in their lives. So it's like you need to do something with your time because then you won't feel this way.
Yeah. You know what else I noticed, and I was having this conversation with Jasmine. It's like I remember coming up before when I took that long off season, there was like a 14-month off season. I wasn't doing anything. I hadn't done anything as a pro. I was just a guy with a pro card. And I got nothing but positive comments. I never had anything negative. And then coming into the show, I won this show. And on the back end of winning this show, that's when I started seeing all this negativity.
Comes to the territory, buddy.
Listen, it's not like it's a ton. It's not like it's like I'm being bombarded all day, every day.
I
It's
can
just
explain
like
why.
these little sprinklings. You're like, I just never really got that before. It's like now I understand. It's like I think maybe some people just don't like to see others doing well.
It is that. It's literally that, because it's like or self. You know, if you haven't done something that you feel of any worth, unfortunately, you then project that negative, like you said, energy out on people who have. I've witnessed myself do that at times when I shouldn't, like between me and people I know. Success of others should always be celebrated, but you know, even at times I have found myself being like a little bit shitty towards someone's success, which is something I've worked on not being like, and I'm not really like that now. But especially if it's in a field like a lot of these guys do train and are trying, so they're trying to do what you're doing, but you've done it, and a lot of people just can't accept that without at least taking a dig, because they need to then you know, justify why are they not where you are. And often it'll be something shitty, like you say, well, I don't know, so and so, like we said earlier, has, you know, access to the best drugs, or he blasts shit out of stuff. Like there's never just you'll very rarely find someone who just goes, you know, bravo for where you've got to. I'm on the same path, and I hope to one day be where you are.
Well, I think that takes a lot more guts to say.
But when you do say it, like that, you feel so much better.
It feels good.
Yeah, like I
feel like it's. Sometimes I feel like it's like people's environment too, right? You got to think these people that are negative, maybe their whole environment, ecosystem, people they're hanging out with, their friends, they're always like ripping on people, sending each other like, you know what I mean? Like people's content. Look at this idiot. Look how shitty he looks. If you're always like focused on like shit, you just become a big giant shit magnet. If you're always negative and you're just like, but if you're hanging out with positive people, like you're gonna think differently. Like what you think about becomes your reality. You know what I mean? So like
you know, Antoine, that's actually when you pulled up that comment section, that's why I immediately was like, get this off the screen. And it's just because I've been trying to be more proactive about avoiding that entirely. You know, like it used to be I'd drop a YouTube video. Like I have to go through my own YouTube videos because I want to respond to people and engage and thank people for watching. But then, you know, I would do a podcast and there's 200 comments and you find yourself sitting on the toilet reading everyone. Like this is not good.
I got a trick, Justin. You know? I have a trick.
Yeah.
You want to know my trick? I do especially when I'm prepping near a show. So I'm gonna post a picture or video or even a podcast, and then Dorian, remember that? So I would be like, "Hey, Taylor, read the comments, but only tell me the good ones."
That's nice.
I like that trick.
So because near a show, you need to be like, you be confident. You need to be like in a good mood, pumped up. So you don't want anything negative, right?
Yeah.
Because you don't deal with things as well when you're tired and hungry and all these things. But so what I would do is I would just give her my phone. I said, go through the YouTube, the Instagram, just tell me all the ones that I'm like saving lives and shit.
Yeah. You know, that's one thing that like Matt every time after a show is like, soon as prejudging's finished, he's like, retire your phone, turn your phone off, go to sleep, don't look at your phone, stay off socials. Text me like, hey, you're fucking, don't worry about it, you're good, stay off socials. That was always like one of the biggest things that he would say, because you can start, all these pages are posting pictures of the show and then people are talking shit, and it can affect how you, and even if it's on the flip side where everyone has you winning and you go, I fucking got this. Like you don't need that either.
Yeah, no, it's true.
You know, like you also need to go.
You need to be very.
Stay focused.
You need to be present.
The task
and you lose that. You
sure.
lose that presency, like that being there when you get caught up in the comments.
I remember Matt. I asked him. I said, "How are we looking?" Like after Chicago, he's like, "I think we're good, man. Like, let's just get back to the room. Like, you know, you look good up there. You're in the middle." And it was like, but then after the show, Matt's like, "Yeah, I knew that you had straight ones." After,
but he's not going to show that now. Yeah, exactly.
He did not tell me that. Like, he did not tell me that at all. I went back to the room going, "Fuck, am I going to win this fucking show?" Like, I didn't know. I was like, I could. And like I brought to finals, I made sure we fucking came back to finals, and I fucking posed hard, and I came back fighting, even though I'd already won. And I didn't know that, but you know, from a coaching perspective, like keeping that, like not telling your client, like, hey, dude, you had straight ones, you're in the middle, you're good. well, then maybe you're going to come complacent. Maybe you'll fuck off in between then and get lazy on stage, and you will.
I remember feeling that way. Like again in the Europa Pro, I remember like after prejudging, a lot of like fans coming up to me and saying, "You've got this," and I'm like, "The fight ain't over. I've got to go out there and fight again." So please don't say I got this, because it's never clear. You know, you ain't the nail ain't in the coffin till the nail's in the coffin. So it's kind of like, I always find it better not to, like you say, like pay attention to anything until you're done, until the deal is sealed.
Absolutely. You know, and it's also a lot more fun when you're going out there and fighting for your spot, right?
Yeah,
you're putting on a better show.
Like
you're in there was correct headspace.
We're actually feeling the moment. You know, you're actually there.
Yeah.
So take it all fucking in. You know.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have a lot of experience. You know, that was only my 4th prep ever.
Yeah, you've done
for my show. You know,
boys, how long are we going on here? Holy shit, this might be a long one.
It's almost 2 hours. But man, it's I think it's been a very good dynamic, and I love you guys.
Yeah,
man.
you too.
It's been a long time.
It's been great.
A long time since I've been on, right?
Yeah,
it's been too long. Honestly, I tell you all the time I want to get you on, because I feel like
when was you last on?
People need to see you more.
When was you last on?
Oh man, it's been because last one I had a guy to fill in for me. It's been at least like 6 weeks.
Oh, okay, cool.
It was listen. It was the weekend after. It was the week after the show, after Chicago.
Well, I feel privileged because I've managed to get on the same one.
Well, listen, I think
Antoine was saying
we
we
need to
might
do
ramp things up, do 2 a week maybe.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. Like this would be fun, and then we can kind of alternate some guests in. And James, you and I spoke about doing.
Yeah, I'm always happy to come over and catch up with you guys, man. I'm my own man. Fucking, do you know what I mean?
It's good. I appreciate it. We appreciate your time, man. Honestly, I appreciate your perspective on bodybuilding, on life, on friendship, relationships. I really value you as a friend.
Thank you guys. So I appreciate it. I appreciate it a lot. Honestly.
Yeah, really appreciate it, James.
Yeah, and I wish you, you all nothing but loads of fucking success always. Always.
Appreciate you, man.
Yeah, you're one of my favorite guys in the industry.
No question.
You know, I don't think I've ever heard someone have a bad thing to say about James.
Appreciate that, man.
You know,
no,
that means a lot.
Yeah,
maybe I heard Yannicka say some stuff, but
it's always the wife. It's always the wife.
So,
should we shut this up?
Yeah, 2 hours. That's a fucking good one.
Yeah, it's a good one, guy. So I really appreciate you coming on, James, and you'll be back whenever you want to do it. We have this little group chat on WhatsApp, the Pure BS Part 2. So this is where we're gonna maybe rotate 2 or 1 or 2 guys. So maybe next week I was thinking maybe if Nathan can do it. What do you think?
Yeah, game on if you can understand him.
He's gonna be. Yeah, he's gonna be. The Italy show's next weekend, right? He's a week out right now. Isn't he? Or the 2 weeks.
Maybe.
Maybe we'll wait.
Whatever, right?
Nathan is actually, he might be coming to Toronto and staying at Pure from after Italy to the Olympia.
Fucking right on, dude.
Yeah.
So he's actually going to make it to the O this year if he qualifies.
Yeah, sort that out.
That's the plan.
Get him, man.
Right.
Good, man.
Sneak him through Canada. Let's go.
There you go. Anyways.
All right, boys.
All right, guys.
Yeah, have a great rest of the day, guys.
Later, guys.
Easy.
Peace out, gentlemen.